Yay, we're live. I'll share the comments. First. All right, let me go to the places. What's with the pink? Like, who wears pink to something like this?
I've not. They're like very brightly colored. I think Jill's here, and I can't remember what she was wearing, but I thought that's very bright.
That's a bingo card. Our bingo. All right, what's up, everybody? Real quick, gonna tell you guys. So we can. Oh, great. Rumble having trouble streaming to your destination. That's perfect. Okay, so if you want to play along and play bingo with us, you just have to go to at Shouse34, and the link is in the post. And hi Ty, good to see you. The link is in the post. And sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. So you'll hit that link. You can get your bingo card. You can play along with us as the show goes on. Rumble, I'm working on getting to you guys. I'm not sure what's up and why the link isn't working. So give me just a second to work on that. For the rest of you, I'm excited. Is this him?
Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States.
Yep. Can't believe he's on time. That should have been a bingo card. I'll have blanket.
I will say all the pageantry. I've never watched it this early before, and all of the pageantry is it's kind of gross.
It is. It's disgusting.
Come and handle some business and go home, but it's like they all have to like make announcements. Like they read a long list of names of people who were going to get to be in some entourage, and then they escort everybody in, so they all get to clap for everybody. I don't know. It's weird.
Right. And the big, like the huge announcement, you know, it's like, Mr. Speaker, welcome to the stage. It's like, what? All right. I'm making my bingo card right now. Generate. All right. Live streaming. Stream URL. Copy. Sorry for you guys. Let's edit this.
Chris, I'm to tell you. Oh, I didn't even see you. Might be a Fed on Twitter says he likes your cat.
Thank you.
Love. I'm sorry. Love was the word he used.
Big Willie. He's my podcast buddy. Come on.
Ooh, let's hope that works now.
Backpacks. This guy's walking around like he's Secret Service or something.
Hey, be honest. What all has he taken tonight to be like this? They shoot him up pretty good, don't they?
You know what drives me crazy? I know this is super like topical and silly to pick on, but because I'm going bald right now too, but like the dovetail that's on the like back of his hair, like where it's like flipped out at the bottom. I'm like, can we just maybe like taper that a little bit against your neck? Like, can we make? Oh, Eric's here.
Did I have a Ukraine? I was looking? I don't know if I have Ukraine flag, but does it count if it's on a Congress?
A lapel, like if it's
yeah.
if it Ukrainian representation.
It was there. I don't know if I have gallery. It. SCOTUS judge.
Boy, he's on the good amphetamines tonight. I haven't seen him look this good in a long time. Like
I was just saying that, Eric.
They nailed the cocktail for this one.
For sure.
Hey, if you go to Heather's Twitter page, you can get your bingo card. We're playing bingo tonight.
Oh shit! Look at all these comments. Okay, They got to get him up there quick before the amphetamines wear off.
Nah, he's on some time release shit. They know what they're doing.
I see Marjorie Taylor Greene carrying a white
They got the
balloon. I hope
pros.
it makes it there. Oh my God, no way.
What's
She's carrying
Where
a
is he just
fucking
joking?
balloon.
Where's that troll who was clinging Zelensky's hand? That thing with the jewelry.
Oh,
I wanna
Eric, you're
see
so
that.
quiet.
Oh, am I?
Yeah,
How about
hold
if
on,
I
I'm
do
gonna
that?
turn you up.
Turn my headphones up.
All right, talk now.
Where's that creature
Way
that
better.
was clutching Zelensky's hand like, oh. Remember that thing in the weird dress with the... Remember I sent you a picture of her, Chris.
Yeah. That
She's from like
you know what I'm
Connecticut
talking
or
about?
something.
The
She looked like-
representative that
yeah,
looks like
yeah.
a man, that's looking like a woman, that looks like a dinosaur.
Like
Or like the
the
witch
witch
off
from
of-
Hansel and Gretel.
Yes, the witch from Hansel and Gretel. The Wicked Witch of the East from...
Look at all
Hey,
these people that work for me.
Is McCarthy going to rip the speech up? God, I hope he rips the speech up. I'd be petty like that. I'd stand up and do it.
Meth in a few lines. Half of them have it. She was earlier today.
Oh, carrying the balloon.
Give me a cackle. Give me a cackle. I need a cackle.
Okay. Click the free space.
All right, Heather, be prepared. We might have to make some judgment calls on these bingo cards.
Ukraine flag in gallery. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
pin.
you already hit it. You already hit that, Eric. It was on a lapel.
All right.
They're
Home
all over.
defense shotgun. Oh.
Members of Congress, I have the high privilege and distinct honor to present to you the President of the United States.
Let's not overstate it.
OG pervertin. I see you, Batman.
Where is he at?
Open with a joke.
He's over on Rumble.
Oh.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
The first neck.
Thank you, please. Mr. Speaker, Madam Vice President, our First Lady and Second Gentleman, good to see you guys up there. Members of Congress,
Can't believe you got that right.
Lots of bright pink.
by the way, Chief Justice, I may need a court order. She gets to go to the game tomorrow, next week. I have to stay home.
This is
I
on
won't
here
come
somewhere.
out here.
Off script.
It's Sunday, bud.
Justice, Associate Justice, and
Sun-
retired
sun.
Justice
Biden goes off
Supreme Court.
script. Check.
And to you, my fellow Americans. You know, I start tonight by congratulating the
Didn't take
118th
long.
Congress and the new Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy.
Now he's gonna be slimy, like smarmy. Take the hands. He won't rip the speech up.
Him and Kamala were laughing together a while ago. They're fine.
Speaker, I don't want to ruin your reputation, but I look forward to working with you. And I want to congratulate the new leader of the House Democrats, the first African-American minority leader in history, Hakeem Jeffries.
Hold on. Let me go to the bingo card.
I don't think we have that. Unless he calls someone else racist, it doesn't count.
Oh, okay. I thought like invoking race
One
might be
despite
one
the
of the
fact I
ones that we had
campaigned
picked.
for. Congratulations to the longest serving leader in the history of the United States Senate, Mitch McConnell. Where are you, Mitch?
Fucking
Guy's
terrible.
Guy's a Bond villain.
He looks straight out of Never Ending Story.
Oh, he didn't stand. How many articles about him not
He's
standing?
got a Ukraine tie.
Oh my God, he's got a
Minority
fucking
leader,
Ukraine tie.
You
Bought
know,
and paid for.
Hold on, I gotta look at my
bigger majority, Mr.
card.
Leader. You're the majority leader. But
That's a
much bigger-
stunner.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, I want to give special recognition to someone
If
who I
not
think is
that
going to be
one.
considered the greatest.
That really should have been the free
speaker of
space.
all time, is Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, we still got to say her fucking name. Ugh.
She still exists.
All we care about right now is the teeth, guys.
She still looks like a young
Oh wait,
Michael
yeah,
Jackson.
we gotta watch her teeth.
She looks like Michael Jackson still.
The story of America is a story of progress and resilience,
Was.
of always moving forward, of never, ever giving up. It's a story unique among all nations. We're the only country that has emerged from every crisis we've ever entered stronger than we got into it. Look, folks,
Vietnam.
that's what we're doing again. 2 years ago, the economy was reeling. I stand here tonight after we've created, with the help of many people in this room, 12 million new jobs. More jobs created in 2 years than any president's created in 4 years because of you all.
Best
Because of
job
the American
market.
people.
That counts. If you have best job market, check the
2 years
box.
ago,
This is gonna go fast.
And 2 years ago, COVID had shut down. Our businesses were closed. Our schools were robbed of so much. And today, COVID no longer controls our lives. And 2 years
Oh
ago,
man, I thought he was gonna go
democracy faced the
back on the
threats of
COVID
civil war. And
train.
today, though bruised, our democracy remains unbowed and unbroken.
Oh,
I'm not sure that
democracy. Why didn't we put that one on there?
That's a good one.
democracy is at stake would have been a good play.
Yeah.
As we gather here tonight, we're writing the next chapter in the great American story, a story of progress and resilience. When world leaders ask me to define America, and they do, believe it or not, I say I can define it
No,
in
they
one
don't.
word, and I mean this: possibilities. We don't think anything is beyond our capacity. Everything is a possibility. You know, we're often told that Democrats and Republicans can't work together. But over the past 2 years, we've proved the cynics and naysayers wrong. Yes, we disagreed plenty. And yes, there were times when Democrats went alone. But time and again, Democrats and Republicans came together to defend a
To
stronger
spend
and
more
safer
money.
Europe. We came together to pass
to
once in a
spend
generation infrastructure law, building bridges connecting our nation and our
Should have
people.
done that one too.
We came together to pass the most significant
sure.
law ever, helping victims exposed to toxic burn pits. And in fact,
Toxic burn pits!
it's important.
Yell, Bobert.
What is that?
And in
That's poor.
fact, I signed over 300 bipartisan
It's
pieces of
Ayanna
legislation
Pressley.
since becoming president. From reauthorizing the Violence Against Women Act,
The
the
what?
Electoral Count Reform Act,
The whole you hug them
Act,
to
the
the
Direct
Women's
American
Act.
Person you love. And to my Republican friends, if we
The
can work
Monster
together,
Council
last
Women's
Congress,
Act.
there's no reason we can't work together and find consensus on important things in this Congress as well.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to.
Reference to the dead son coming. It's on the bingo card.
Folks,
Folks,
Oh,
you all are
folks.
as formed as I am, but I think the people sent us a clear message. Fighting for the sake
have
of
it.
fighting. Power for the sake of power. Conflict for the sake of conflict gets us nowhere.
Oh, my, for
That's
fuck's
always
sake,
been my
Joe.
vision of our country, and I know
you
it's
got
many
your
of
pretty
yours.
sweet house.
Restore the soul of this nation, to rebuild the
Few of 'em.
backbone of America, America's middle class, and unite the country.
You got your pretty sweet
We're
house.
sent here to finish the job, in my view.
Oh, hold on,
For
exit.
decades, the middle class has been hollowed out.
Exit, you gotta
More
mute
than-
your
no
what you're
one
watching.
administration, but for a long time. Too many good paying manufacturing jobs move overseas.
There you go.
Factories closed down. Once thriving cities and towns that many of you represent became shadows of what they used to be.
Who runs
And
them?
along the way, something else we lost: pride, our sense of self-worth. I ran for president to fundamentally change things, to make sure our economy works for everyone.
I used to put
So
with
we
the
can
name
all
for
feel
Lexi.
that
Now I know who
pride
I'm
in
giving a
what we
hard
do.
time to.
Build an economy from the bottom up and the middle out, not from the top down. Because when the middle
Exit's
class
being a
does
secret
well, the
ninja.
poor have a ladder up, and the wealthy still
How
do very
dare he?
do well.
He's currently crushing the middle class.
Oh
Jesus Christ.
Oh, there's. Look at
God,
Paris.
Bernie looks rough.
He didn't get
I
the
know
cocktail.
A lot of you always kid me for always quoting my dad, but my dad used to say, "Joey, a job's about a lot more than a paycheck."
Nobody ever called you
Really do say
Joey.
this. It's about a lot more than a paycheck. It's about your dignity. It's about respect. It's about being able to look your kid in the eye and say, honey, it's going to be okay.
Who the
And
fuck
we-
calls their kid honey? Get the
folks,
fuck out of here.
So let's look at the results. We're not finished yet by any stretch of the imagination, but unemployment rate is at 3.4%, a 50-year low.
Dude.
Still Trump shtick.
Near record,
Not enough boosters. Try
I
again,
was just
Bernie.
gonna
near record unemployment.
near record unemployment.
Near record
Letting people open their business again isn't creating jobs.
We've already
No.
created, your help, 800,000 good-paying manufacturing jobs, the fastest growth in 40 years.
How has every president had the best job growth
Where
ever?
is it written? Where is it
Well, it's also
written
like this
that
they create
can't
jobs
lead the
thing,
world
like-
in manufacturing?
Well,
I don't know
look
where
how
that's
many
written.
companies have laid
too
off
many decades,
hundreds
we
of
imported
thousands of
projects and
workers
exported
in the
jobs.
just in the last 2
Now,
months.
thanks to what you've all done, we're exporting American products and creating American jobs.
What is America
So-
exporting from a production perspective? Tell me, because I don't know.
It's been a global problem because the pandemic disrupted our supply chains and Putin's unfair and brutal war.
But I love how the pandemic's always the bad guy, as if
disrupted
nobody
energy
had a
supplies
choice,
as well
like
as food supplies,
made choices.
blocking all that grain in Ukraine. But we're better positioned than any country on earth right now.
Because
But we have
people
more
have
to
2 or
do.
3 jobs. That's
here at home, inflation is coming
100%
down.
correct. The
Yeah.
only
Gas
reason that
prices
there's
are
so
down
many jobs
$1.50
is because
from
people
the
have
peak.
multiple.
Food inflation is coming down, not
Thanks.
fast enough, but coming down.
It's because
Inflation
every
has fallen
landscape
every month
fucking
for the last 6
company
months.
in
Take-home
Home
pay
Depot
has
is
gone
hiring
up.
right now for spring.
Additionally, over the last 2 years, a record 10 million Americans applied to start new businesses.
Ooh.
10 million.
Someone
By
that's
the
playing
way,
along on Twitter.
Where's the
said,
application? What does that mean even? To application to start
That
a new
means that
business?
they started an Etsy fucking
Anytime
account.
someone starts
Did
and
you
small
guys hear
business is an
Biden
act
forget
of
a
hope.
name?
He's talking about OnlyFans.
I want to thank you for leading that effort to ensure the small businesses have access to capital and the historic laws we enacted that are going to just come into being. Standing here last year, I shared with you a story of American
do that
genius
last
and
year?
possibilities. Semiconductors, small computer chips the size of a fingerprint that power everything from cell phones to automobiles and so much more.
JD.
These chips were invented in America. Let's get that straight. They were invented in America.
Where are they made, though?
We used to make 40% of the world's chips. In the last several decades, we lost our edge.
Jake
We're
works
You're
in
not
a
talking
Ford
about
plant,
Lay's.
10%.
and he
He's
says
talking
I'm
about
off
Lay's.
work
We all saw
tomorrow
what
and
happened
possibly the
during the
rest of the week
pandemic
because we're
when
out
chip
of parts.
factories shut down overseas.
That
Today's
shit happens to me
automobiles
too,
need
Jake.
3,000 chips each of those automobiles. But American automobiles couldn't make enough cars because there weren't enough chips. Car prices went up. People got laid off. So did everything from refrigerators to cell phones.
I
We
thought
can
everything
never
was
let
great.
that
What's he
happen
talking about
again.
now?
That's why.
Talking about Donald
That's why
Trump's
we came
America,
together
Lexi.
to pass the Bipartisan Chips and Science Act.
I don't hate that one.
No, I just don't know that I trust how it's going to be done. And
Oh,
honestly, I don't know. Why can't you just get out of the way and let people do the shit? I don't know.
I know
Why do you
I'm
have to pass an
criticized
act?
for saying this, but I'm not
People are going
changing
to
my
do it.
tune.
Just get out of their way.
We're going to make sure the supply chain for America begins in America. The supply chain begins in America.
Yeah, this is definitely
Like
like
with the
ripping off
last-
Trump's.
Does that count for an aggressive lie?
That's what the last guy was
Bingo
doing. That
card.
he's immediately.
800,000 new
He has to
manufacturing
aggressively
jobs.
yell.
Hit the door,
You know the
buddy.
one we're talking about.
Sorry, I had to repair Buzz
With this new
Lightyear.
law, we're going to create hundreds of thousands of new jobs across the country. I mean, all across the country, throughout not just the coast, but through the middle of the country as well. That's going to come from companies that have announced more than $300 billion in investment in American manufacturing over the next few years. Outside of Columbus, Ohio, Intel is building semiconductor factories on 1,000 acres, literally a field
Bill
of dreams.
Gates.
It's going to create 10,000 jobs, that one investment.
Now do the train
7,000
fire.
construction jobs, 3,000 jobs in those factories once they're finished. They call them factories. Jobs paying an average of $130,000 a year, and many do not require a college degree.
To work in a
That's
factory?
a
No
fucking
way.
lie. That's a fucking lie. It's
Oh,
because the
many know that
CEO
doesn't count.
The CEO makes 50 million, and the dude that's on the floor makes $10, but average is 160,000 a year.
It's just getting started. Think about the new homes, the small businesses, the medium-sized businesses. So much more that's
40
going to be
million went out of
needed
business from COVID.
to support
probably.
those 3,000 permanent jobs and the factories that are going to be built.
I'm getting some pushback over
Talk
here on my
American
phone for the
government, Democrats and
130K with
Republicans.
no college.
And they'll tell you what
It's
this
the
means for their
applications,
communities.
Great resignation, new
We're
gig
seeing these
economy.
field of dreams
That's what that
transform to
is.
the heartland. But to
Tax
maintain
sheltering,
the
those
strongest
businesses
economy in the
may not
world,
exist in
we
2 to
need the
5
best
years.
infrastructure in the world. And folks, as you
Oh
all
my God,
know,
that fucking guy. That fucking guy. Go to work.
Oh, Captain.
Go to fucking work.
Get to the
Okay,
office. What are you
With
doing
the,
here?
the massive train
13th in the
explosion
world.
in Ohio
The
right
United
now, it's
States
hard to
of America.
believe that he's
Whoa.
13th
here.
That's
in the
the
world
aggressive
in
yelling.
infrastructure, modern infrastructure.
Yeah. There you
But now
go.
we're coming back because we came together and passed the bipartisan infrastructure law, the largest investment in infrastructure since President Eisenhower's interstate highway system.
Praise the state system. Aw.
And folks,
Why do you brag about not requiring?
already we've funded over 20,000 projects, including major airports from Boston to Atlanta to Portland. Projects that are going to put thousands of people to work rebuilding our highways, our bridges, our railroads, our tunnels, ports, airports, clean water, high-speed
Hey, Rev.
internet, all across America. Urban, rural, tribal.
Because
And
he's an
folks,
idiot,
We're
guys.
just getting started.
Hey,
We're just
Joe.
getting started.
Wisconsin roads have been under construction for the last 8 years, bro.
Guys,
That's
listen
been
to all
happening.
these accomplishments.
I want to thank my Republican friends who voted for the law.
Even Joe
And my
Manchin can't
Republican
clap
friends
for
who
him.
voted
Nope.
against it as well. But I'm still, I still get asked to fund the projects in those districts as well. But don't worry. I promised I'd be a president for all Americans.
So shitty.
We'll fund these projects.
What a
What a
fucking
cunt.
dick.
He's a
Groundbreaking.
fucking cunt.
Wow.
Like he's not
Hey,
spending
you
their
like the
money.
too.
This
This
law,
motherfucker.
I
you
give
know, we can
you,
be
I
friends,
give you that
y'all.
money
this law will
because
further
I
unite all
fucking
of
take it
America.
from the citizens in your
Projects like
county and
Brent
your
Spence
city and
Bridge
your
in
state.
Kentucky over the Ohio
Fuck
River.
him, man.
Built 60 years ago. Badly needed repairs. One of the nation's most congested freight routes, carrying $2 billion worth of freight every single
Well,
day.
let's talk
across the
about
Ohio
those
River.
freight routes.
While we're
We're
here.
talking about fixing it for decades.
How's
we're
that
really
train
finally
looking
gonna
in
get it done.
Ohio?
I went there last month,
Answer Express.
Democrats and Republicans, and from both states, to deliver a commitment of $1.6 billion for this project.
You didn't
Sorry,
do the
Minnie,
shit,
I still love
motherfucker.
you.
You went to work.
And while I was there, I met a young woman named Sarah.
No,
Who's
you
here
didn't.
tonight. I don't know what Sarah
Sniffed
is.
her
Is
hair.
Sarah in the box? I don't
Smoked
know.
it.
Okay,
Cool.
Oh.
so Bruce Wayne caught, and
Well,
I
Sarah,
missed
for
it,
30
but
years.
tanks and bombs, that's what we export from
For
a
30
military goods
years.
perspective.
I
Yeah,
learned
tanks
she told me she'd been a
and
proud member
cash.
of the Iron
We export
Workers
a lot of
Local
cash.
44,
Yeah.
Known as the Cowboys in the Sky. The folks who
What?
built
Cowboys
Cincinnati
in the sky?
Skyline.
What the fuck is he
Sarah
talking
said she
about?
can't
I
wait
was
to-
spaced for a second, but that still doesn't. I don't think that can make sense even in context.
Then groped her
God bless her.
child. Exit.
Uh,
You're in here, but you're muted.
And
What's
that's
up,
what we're
man?
also building. We're building back pride. Look, we're also replacing poison 10 million homes in America. 400,000 school and child care centers. So every child in America can drink
What's
the
a
water
school and
instead of
child
having
care center?
permanent damage to their brain.
Did he just
Look.
get the fuck out of here? Every child in America can drink water now. All of them.
Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah, bro! Water! This guy's
Every community in
amazing.
America has access to affordable high-speed internet.
Oh,
No
what's up,
parent should have
Adam?
to
How
drive
are
by
you?
McDonald's parking lot to help them do
Tell
their
me I don't
homework
need a
online.
college
Our
degree to
kids,
work at a factory?
Many thousands we're doing across the country. And when we do these
The
projects,
ones that made it past the
and
clinics.
again, I
No
get
shit.
criticized for this, but I
Every
make no
child in
excuses
America
for
that
it.
actually gets
We're gonna
born that we
buy
don't murder.
American. We're going to buy America. Folks,
We're gonna buy an election. We're gonna buy an election, folks.
and it's totally consistent with
except Flint,
international trade
Michigan.
rules. Buy America has been the law since 1933. But for too long, past administrations, Democrat and
No
Republican,
way.
have fought to get around it. Not anymore. Tonight, I'm announcing new standards that require all construction materials used in federal infrastructure projects to be made in America.
There's no way that he can do
That's
that.
impossible.
That's not feasible.
Mm-mm.
I mean it.
Those are no, you
Not unless
don't.
we start cutting down fucking all of our forests, bro.
What about those chips he was talking about earlier that we don't have?
Cable.
I'm
No
glad
matter
you
what,
stopped by. I hope my
American roads,
niece is
bridges,
doing
American
good.
highways
Love
are
you
gonna be
guys.
Made with American products as well. Folks, my economic plan is about investing in places and people that have been forgotten. So many of you listen to me tonight. I know you feel it. So many of you felt like you've just simply been
Are
forgotten.
we
He's
praying?
pulling
them?
a Bill Clinton right
I
now.
know.
In the past 4 decades,
Do the
Dude,
song.
We're fucked.
have been left behind and treated like they're invisible. Maybe that's you watching from home. Remember the jobs that went away. You remember them, don't you? The folks at home
That
remember
you
them.
guys made go
I might
away.
your
Even
show.
exist
Like
anymore
government.
for your children to get ahead.
I remember
We're not
eggs
having to
disappearing
move
from my
away.
fridge. Fuck face.
Well, that's why I get that.
Unless
That's
it's payday.
why we're building an economy where no one's left behind. Jobs are coming back. Pride is coming back.
Yeah, that shit about
Because
American
choices
materials
we
was
made in the last
no
several
way
years.
feasible.
You know, this is, in my view, a blue-collar blueprint to rebuild America, make a real difference in your lives at home.
It's a dream.
example-
I get it now. Okay, now it
For
makes
many of
sense.
you.
This is his dream.
Lay in bed at night like my dad did,
Minnie,
Oh,
I'm sorry.
staring at the
We
ceiling, wondering,
we kind of threw
What
this
in God's
together
names
last
happens
minute. I promise
if
you
this-
we'll
if
have
your
water on the
spouse
next one.
gets cancer, or your child gets deadly
This
ill.
motherfucker here.
Oh,
Oh, I wonder what
Amazing.
happened to that guy.
What are you going to get money to pay
I
for those
wondered if
medical
he was
bills?
still
Are you gonna
alive.
have to sell
They
the
found a
house?
suit from the
Try to get a
'94
second
NBA
mortgage.
draft for him to
I
wear.
get it. I get it. The
Master
Inflation
plagiarizing
Reduction Act that I
speeches.
signed into law. We're taking on
Ooh,
powerful interests
is
to
the
bring
text
healthcare
from this
costs
from
down
another presidential speech?
so you can sleep better
We
at night.
close your businesses
More
not
secure.
because it is easy, but because
You know,
it is
we
hard.
pay more for prescription drugs than any nation in the world. Let me say it again. We pay more for prescription drugs than any major nation on earth.
We
Not my
know.
son though.
example-
My
We know.
son's got a guy.
1 in 10 Americans has diabetes.
Forthcoming
Many of you
recession.
in
The
this chamber do.
forthcoming.
And
It's
in the
here.
audience.
What is a
Every day,
Cancer then
millions
shows
need
Uncle
insulin to control
Fester.
their
I thought the
diabetes
same thing. I'm like,
so
oh.
they can literally stay alive.
what?
Insulin's
How
been
much is
around for
Hunter
over
paying
100
for a
years.
fucking rock?
The guy who invented it didn't
How
even
much is
patent
Hunter
it. He
paying
wanted
for
to make it
hookers?
available.
Let's pull that up.
We said the
cost
drugs
of
are going to be
drug companies
cheaper. I'm just curious.
Roughly $10 a vial to make that insulin. Packaging
Like
and
how
all,
much
you may
cheaper,
get it
Joe?
for $13. But big
I get annoyed
pharma,
when they talk about the drug
We're not
pricing without
fairly charging
addressing
people
that everybody else is
$100,
getting
$400 to
cheaper drugs because
$500
we
a
pay
month.
so much more.
taking
Like, how are you
record-
going to make it
record-
happen?
We
You're not
probably
going to do it.
subsidize
Not
them.
anymore.
We do. We totally do.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
75% of their ads are paid for by pharmaceutical companies. They're not going to cut into that profit.
There's a good Boston accent there. Asked Hunter what crack prices are like compared to other countries.
So many,
Fuck you, you stole my line.
many things that we did are only now coming to fruition. We said we were doing this and we said we passed the law to do it, but people didn't know because the law didn't take effect until January 1 of this year. We capped the cost of insulin at $35 a month for seniors on Medicaid.
This
You couldn't
pisses
cap
me
the
off.
cost of a fucking dozen
Donald
eggs,
Trump-
bro.
So let's go back
People
real
are
quick.
just
This is
finding
only
out.
for Medicare that this
Yep.
I'm
insulin
sure
cap
you're getting
is
the same
here.
calls I'm getting.
And Donald Trump had
There are-
already written
there are
this
millions of other
in an
Americans
executive order, and this was
do not
day
or are
one
not on
he
Medicare,
eliminated that.
including 200,000 young people with type 1 diabetes and need this insulin to stay alive. Let's finish the job this time. Let's cap the cost of insulin for everybody at 30.
Whoever put
I actually need
federal,
like an octave lower, Joe. We'll count it as a whisper.
Yeah, like it was almost there. I almost would have given you guys that one on the bingo card, not quite.
whoever put federal infrastructure in the speech this many times is going
Big
to get
Pharma's still
fired.
going to do very well, I promise you all. I promise you they're going to do very well. This law also caps and won't even go into effect until 2025. costs, out-of-pocket drug costs for seniors on Medicare at a maximum of $2,000
Oh,
a year.
yeah,
You don't have to pay
'cause
more than $2,000 a year, no matter
don't
how
have
much
to.
your
Oh
drug
shit, his
costs are.
cocktail's wearing off.
Because you know
Do you see
why?
it?
Yeah.
You all know it.
He's leaning
Many
on the
people,
podium.
like me and my family, have cancer. You know the drugs can
Stand-up
range
act
from
is gone.
10, 11,
Yep, you're right,
14,
Ty.
$15,000 for the cancer drugs.
Yes.
If drug prices rise faster than inflation,
Lisa,
the drug
that's-
companies are going to
that's
have
exactly
to
what
pay
happened.
Medicare back the difference. We're finally,
And when he put it in place, he only put it in place
We're
for
finally
Medicare
getting
recipients.
Medicare
This is not
power to
across the
negotiate
board.
drug
Trump's
prices.
was for everyone.
bringing down
Yeah, Trump was actually against the
bringing
pharmaceutical
down
companies.
prescription drug
Yeah.
costs doesn't just save seniors money. It cuts the federal deficit by billions.
I'm gonna
of
count it.
count
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's the whisper. He meant
That's
that
the
as a
whisper.
Billions of
Got it on
dollars.
your bingo card.
Because
Yeah, he
these
meant that as a
prescription
whisper.
drugs
The whisper.
are drugs purchased by Medicare
All
to
right,
keep the
Biden.
commitment
Creepy
to the
whisper.
seniors.
Ooh, I only need
Well,
two
guess what?
more.
Instead of paying $400 or $500 a month, you're paying $15.
Yes to
That's
creepy
a
whisper,
lot
Minnie.
of savings for the federal government. And by the way, why wouldn't we want that? Now, some members here are threatening, and I know it's not an official party position, so I'm going to exaggerate.
Then shut the fuck up, Joe.
Threatening to
And go
repeal
sit
the
down,
Inflation Reduction
bitch.
Act.
Fucking hate him.
As my coach,
I always talk about
That's
reducing
okay.
prices and we talk about
That's
changing
fair.
lifestyles to avoid. No
as
shit.
my football coach used to say, lots
Let's
of luck in your
encourage
senior
like
year.
healthy choices. I say that as my fat ass
Make
up here
no
and
mistake.
drinks my sweet tea.
If you try anything to raise the cost of prescription jobs, I will veto it.
Zip, zip.
You what?
What'd he say?
He'll
Look at
veto it.
Cruz.
I'm pleased to say that more Americans have health insurance now than ever in history. A record 16
He just keeps
million
saying
people
that.
enrolled
I
in
thought
the
it was supposed to be
Affordable Care
fixed
Act.
I don't think
10
that's
years
true
ago.
anymore.
Thanks to the law I signed last year, saving millions are saving $800 a year on their premiums. And by the way, that law was written and the benefit expires in 2025. So my plea to some of you, at least in this audience, let's finish the job and make these savings permanent. Expand coverage of Medicaid.
What the? That's what she's
She
wearing.
thinks she was-
Too.
Did she think this was the Met Gala?
The Inflation Reduction
I
Act
like
is also
Kristen
the most
Sinema, but
significant
that looks
investment ever in climate change. Ever.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
climate change.
Lowering
What?
Ooh,
utility
climate
bills,
change.
creating American jobs.
Got it.
Leading the world
Got
to
it.
a clean energy future. I visited the devastating aftermath of record floods, droughts, storms, and wildfires.
You've done
From
nothing.
Arizona to Mexico
Ooh.
to all the way up to the Canadian border.
Minnie said that the gallery has
More
booed multiple
timber has
times. Have
been
you guys heard
burned
it?
That I've observed
No.
from helicopters.
I haven't
than the
either.
entire
I
state of
heard
Missouri.
once when he referred to the
We
Republicans.
don't
I
have
think
global
they did.
warming, not a problem. In addition to emergency recovery,
I'll give you the
from Puerto
boo,
Rico to
Minnie,
Florida to Idaho,
since I
we're
couldn't give you
rebuilding for the long
the
term.
messed up the name.
New electric grids that are able to weather major storms and not prevent those forest fires.
What about machine gun fire?
Roads and
They're
water
taking a lot of
systems
machine
and
gun
next
fire
big
lately.
flood. Clean energy to cut pollution and create
Congress
jobs
should
in
have to buy
communities
health
often
care
left
on the market
behind.
like we do.
We're going to build
100% agree with
500,000
that.
electric vehicle charging
They should
stations
not have a special
installed
healthcare
across
program.
the country by tens of thousands. of
How many
IBEW.
whales have to die before we give up this clean energy shit?
We're helping
Fair people are
families
very
save more than
basic.
$1,000 a year with tax credits to purchase electric
How many
vehicles
whales,
and
Heather?
efficient-
Ooh,
and
yeah.
efficient
We're at like
appliances,
9
energy
now.
efficient
Yeah,
appliances.
There's
9
another one that
whales have
washed up
died.
the other day.
Historic conservation efforts to be responsible stewards of our land. Let's face reality. The climate crisis doesn't care if you're in a red or blue state. It's an existential threat. We have an obligation, not to ourselves, but to our children and grandchildren to confront it.
Oh my God.
I'm
Fuck
proud
right
of
off.
how
Yeah.
America at last is stepping up to the
Stop
challenge.
spending my kids and grandkids' money, and maybe we'll have a
Yeah.
conversation.
Oh, shit.
But guess what? No, we do.
Ooh, there
Why
was
don't you go-
booze for
There's
sure.
so much
Yep.
more to do. We got to finish the
He's
job.
gonna get mad. Look at him.
We pay
Yep.
for these
Needs to
investments in our
wait.
future by finally making the wealthiest and biggest corporations begin to pay their fair share.
Oh,
Here we
fair share. That's what we
fucking
did put
go.
on there.
Yeah, fair share.
Oh,
would've
was Omar crying? The squad crying is one of
I'm
the
a
squares.
I'm a capitalist, but pay your fair share. I think a
Well,
lot
you're
of
a
you at
capitalist.
home,
We fucking know.
you don't agree with me and many people that you know.
No, she's not
Tax
crying.
system is not fair. It is not fair.
Okay.
We know.
So pass
not
the
the way you
Fair
mean.
Tax Act that's on the table right now.
Yep, there is
Pass
a fair
that shit.
pass it.
The idea
Eliminate federal and state
that
tax
in
and just do a
2020,
consumer tax.
55 of the
About places
largest
like China
corporations in
and India
America,
do
the
just
Fortune
whatever.
500,
Exactly, Ty.
made $40 billion in profits and paid zero in federal taxes? Zero? Folks, it's simply not fair.
She's wearing a crayon.
Oh,
Ooh, ooh.
Billion-dollar
Did Marjorie,
companies have to pay a minimum
MTG,
of
or
15%.
Lauren Boebert yell
God
out?
love them.
Was that them?
15%.
I don't know.
That's less than
That was
the rest
Boebert.
pays.
oh yeah. Let's show her when we talk about people making too much
Crystal
fucking
clear, I
money.
said at the very beginning, under my
No
plans, as long
shit.
as I'm president, nobody earning less than $400,000
That
will
is
pay
a
an additional
lie.
penny in taxes.
That's a
Nobody,
lie.
Not one penny.
It's a
Why don't you
lie.
cackle?
And let's
Cackle,
face the
bitch.
That's like buying concert tickets, not an additional penny after the
Yes,
fee.
we
looks like
work,
and,
not
uh,
just wealth.
Headless. Like there's something like with her
Pass my
neck.
proposal for
It
the
looks like
billionaire
it's not
minimum tax.
attached.
You
It's
know,
gotten a workout.
there's 1,000 billionaires in America. It's up from about 600 in the beginning of the term. But no billionaire should be
The
paying
odometer's
a lower
high
tax
on that
rate than a
neck.
school teacher or
Oh,
firefighter.
man.
I mean it.
Unless
Think
it's
about
fentanyl or crack. That was really good, Eric.
Well, you remember when they used to talk about millionaires, and now they just had to bump it up to billionaires because they're all millionaires.
Yeah,
Did
a
not
$1 million
realize
house
Congress
is
wrote the
like.
tax code. Congress doesn't realize
No,
Congress
no,
wrote the tax code.
enthusiastic about that, but think about
They
it.
forget.
Think about it.
Can't show Warren
Have
when
you
talking about
noticed
diversity
big oil
scores.
just reported record profits? Last year they made $200 billion
Oh shit! I missed
in the
you.
midst of a global energy crisis.
15% is less
Now
than
do
my
Pfizer.
guy.
That was
Why?
Pfizer.
They invested too little of that profit to increase domestic production.
I cannot believe he
And
has
when
a
I talked
fucking
to a couple of them,
Ukrainian
they say we're
tie
afraid
on.
I heard one of them yelling, but I don't know which one it was.
Oil refineries anyway.
All right,
so why should we
executive
invest in it?
decision. We're going to give you
I
guys
said, we're going to need oil for at least
Boebert.
another decade.
Boebert shouts out.
And that's going to exceed. And beyond that, we're going to need it. Production.
Are they laughing at
They had
him?
Yes.
tax invested
Yes.
in the production to keep gas prices
Wow.
down. Instead, they used the record profits to buy back their own
I
stock,
love it.
rewarding the CEOs and shareholders. Corporations ought to do the right thing.
Girl
That's
sitting
why
to
I
left of
propose we
old white woman
quadruple
with
the tax
purple
on
hair
corporate
teared
stock
up about
buybacks
5
and encourage
minutes ago.
long-term investments. They'll still make considerable profit.
God, Debbie
Wasserman
Wasserman
was
Schultz
bad
looks like
too,
she's
man.
fucking asleep.
Let's finish the job and close the loopholes that allow very wealthy to avoid paying their taxes. Instead of cutting the number of audits for wealthy taxpayers, I just signed a law to reduce the deficit by $114 billion by
We put that on
cracking
here,
down
didn't
on
we?
wealthy tax cheats.
Deficit, lower
Liar.
deficit, something
That's
like
being
that.
fiscally responsible.
Yeah, it's not on my card though.
In the last 2 years,
Oh, and there's a typo. It should say inflation is over.
$1.7 trillion. The largest deficit reduction in American history.
Your COVID bullshit fucking expired. That's all that
Deficit
was.
Went up
reduction.
4 years in a row.
It's- Check the tape, bitches.
Because those record deficits,
Deficit reduction.
no
If you have that on
president
your
added
bingo
more to the
card,
national
you can
debt
mark it.
in
Yeah,
any
that's what I was
4
saying.
years than my
Good.
predecessor.
I just need a
Nearly
defense shotgun and a
24% of
sleeping
the
judge, and
entire
I'm home
national
free.
debt
Oh,
that
guns are
took over
coming.
200 years to accumulate was
We're going
added
to
by
hold
just one
Kentucky accountable for the
administration
act of
alone, the
presenting us
last
with
one.
Mitch on a semi-annual
Well, they're the
basis.
facts.
Iowa
Check
will
it
handle
out.
Grassley at Kentucky promises to handle their shit.
Boo!
Woof.
How did
That was
Congress
Marjorie.
They're
respond
fired up tonight.
That was
to that?
Marjorie
They did the right
Taylor
thing. They
Greene.
lifted the
All right,
debt.
we'll give. Okay, so
I know her
there's
voice.
MTG, y'all.
They paid American bills to prevent an economic disaster in the country.
If I get a come on man, some ghost guns, and a bid.
Ooh. I could have went all night without seeing that
The
bitch.
full faith and credit of the United States of America will never, ever be questioned.
I don't know,
Some of my Republican friends want to take the economy hostage. I get it.
Yeah,
She
And
does.
this debt ceiling.
Plans. All of you at home should know
We
what
want to
those
hide it
plans
from you so you can't hurt it
are.
anymore.
Instead of making the wealthy pay their fair share, some
Oh,
Republicans
stay on her. Stay on her.
Some
I want to watch
Republicans
her yell at him.
want Medicare and Social Security to sunset. I'm not saying it's a majority.
They want what to
Let
sunset?
me give you anybody.
They're
who
saying
wants
that
to
they want Social Security gone.
contact my office. I'll give you a copy.
There
I'll
she
give you
is.
a copy.
Okay,
Yeah,
for
she's screaming.
sure
She
we
was
have
yelling.
MTG now.
That means Congress doesn't. vote.
Barker, there has been a
Well, I'm
folks.
glad
He
to see
hasn't
you.
done a
No, I tell you,
copy. I
I
haven't heard
enjoy
that one yet.
conversion. You know, it means
Oh,
if
you love conversion. You want to convert all the kids.
Democrats, where they are, they'd go away. Other Republicans say, I'm not saying it's a majority of you. I don't even think it's even a significant, but it's being proposed by individuals.
He's totally lost
No, it's
control of
not.
the room. Look at it.
Yeah,
Not
How
naming
long
them.
until they're throwing shoes at each other?
he's way off script now, Heather. Can we mark
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. If you have
Folks.
off script, check the box.
Yeah.
This is
idea
like some
is-
British style,
We're
like
not gonna be-
heckling,
Yeah.
man.
We're
This
not
is-
going to be moved into
I love
being
it.
threatened to default on the
perfect.
debt if we don't respond. Folks,
Minnie is one square away from winning. She said, "Forget a name. Come on, man."
That would get me within
folks.
one.
as we all apparently agree,
And
Social
so
Security and
to
Medicare
everyone
is
that's
off the
playing bingo,
books now,
I'll
right?
actually
They're
do
not
3
gonna say-
shirts. So the first
right.
3 people to get bingo.
You're a saint, Heather.
you got unanimity.
I really thought he was. I thought this was his debt ceiling moment, but I guess he's.
Social
Lost
Security,
now.
Medicare, a lifeline for millions of seniors. Americans have to pay into them from the very first paycheck they started. So tonight, let's
Yeah,
all
you
agree.
fucking bastards.
Apparently are. Let's stand up for seniors.
Has he forgot a name yet, Heather?
Nope, not yet.
Nope.
We will not cut Social Security. We will not cut Medicare. Those benefits belong to the American
Guys, this is
people that
insane.
earned
I've
it.
never
If
seen
anyone
a say.
tries
I
to
haven't
cut
either.
Social
I've never
Security,
seen a
which apparently no
president
one's gonna do,
respond to the boos and the heckling.
and if anyone tries to
Well,
cut
even the amount
The
of it
heckling's
is really
great.
like.
And yes,
Yeah,
I was
the amount of
also about to
it
say
is
very
really
British Parliament
Take away.
were like
be
wild.
taken away, not today, not tomorrow, not ever.
Have we
but
had a
apparently it's
stutter?
not gonna be a
Yes.
problem.
That was about 5 seconds in, Jake.
I offer
Yeah.
my fiscal plan. I ask
Right
my
on the top.
Republican friends to lay down their plan as well. I really mean it. Let's sit down together and discuss our mutual plans together. Let's do that.
There we go. That's a
Okay.
stand up.
Okay. You know what? I gotta give Biden credit. He's been
Whoa.
heckled in a way that I've
Let me
never
show you
seen a
the cut the
president
deficit by
heckled,
Another $2 trillion.
and he hasn't like done
And it
his
won't
like
cut a single
angry
bit of
like
Medicare or Social
yelling
Security. In
yet.
fact, we're going to
Yet.
extend the Medicare.
Wait till he
tax.
gets to guns.
The
Yeah, I
Geritol's
know
wearing
that.
off.
That'll be the next argument. How do we keep it solvent, right? Well, we'll not raise tax on anyone making under 400 grand, but we'll pay for it the way we talked about tonight by making sure that the wealthy and big corporations pay their fair share. Look. Here's the deal.
Here's the deal. Oh, I think it's a listen.
They're
No, it's
taking
a come
advantage of
on,
the
man.
American consumer. Here's my message to all of you out there. I have your back. We're already preventing
Please
Americans
don't.
from
You for
Medicare.
Yeah.
sure do that.
Please
Stop
stay
Stop
alone.
smelling me,
$1 billion
motherfucker.
Go
surprise
away.
bills per month.
I have your back,
To
and I
protect
like that you use
weapons of
quarantine.
war, and I'll get a
life
bingo.
savings by
Now this
cracking
makes
down on
complete
nursing
sense. He's the
homes
most sheltered president in
commit
history,
fraud,
almost never having to deal with
endanger patient
opposition.
safety,
He probably
prescribe
doesn't
drugs
get
that are
it.
not needed.
Maybe.
Millions of Americans can now save
Angry time will come
thousands
if we don't get
of
him
dollars
Ovaltine and
because they can
tapioca
finally get a
fat.
hearing aid over the
And
counter
his
without a
Metamucil.
prescription.
Hey,
Look,
Tapioca's not bad.
without competition is not capitalism. It's extortion. It's exploitation. Last year, I cracked down with the help of many of you on foreign shipping companies that were making you pay higher prices for every good coming into the country. I signed a bipartisan bill to cut shipping costs by 90%, helping American farmers, businessmen, and
True,
consumers
guys.
Done.
finish the job. Passed the bipartisan legislation to strengthen
Has he talked about gas prices?
antitrust enforcement and prevent big online platforms giving their own products an unfair advantage.
More money for Ukraine. Has
McCarthy
he
just
talked about
looks
that
like
yet?
whatever.
Taking on junk fees.
No.
No.
Those hidden surcharges too many companies use to make you pay more. For example, we're making airlines show you the full ticket price up front, refund your money if your flight is canceled or delayed, We reduced
Okay.
bank overdrafts by saving consumers more than $1 billion a year.
At the bank's expense, which just costs people who don't overdraft more money later. Like, I don't, it's so
$30
crazy.
to $8. Look,
Look, that should have been on there.
junk fees.
Hey, instead of saying surcharge, now it says 10% for the big guy.
In homes like the one I grew up in, like many of you did. They add up to hundreds of dollars a month. They make it harder for you to pay your bills or afford that
He's on
family
Tempting
trip.
Heather, we're already broke.
I know
as
how
fuck.
unfair it feels when a company overcharges you and gets away with it.
Full ticket price.
Not anymore. We've written a
We're
bill
gonna
to
make the
stop it
trains
all. It's
run on
called the
time.
Junk Fee Prevention
What is this?
Yeah, they
Act.
Atlas
are.
Shrugged?
We're going to ban surprise resort fees that hotels charge on your bill. Those fees can cost you up to $90.
Yeah, because
a
middle
month.
America's really needing that right now.
Right.
I
Right.
don't understand.
What the
I
fuck?
see the fees. They're gonna keep
The
charging
idea-
me them. Like, I don't know what
I
this
get
is
charged
talking
them
about.
every time
This
I
is
book a
what we
hotel for
spend our
80s
tax money
competition.
on
200
for
or
him to do
more.
that.
If you decide to switch to another provider, give me a break.
How about a flat income risk
We can
tax?
save
Oh, that would've been a good one.
0%.
And tickets to concerts and sporting events.
Thanks, Joey.
Make companies disclose all
You
the
got it,
fees up
Joey.
front.
Joey for president.
And will prohibit airlines from charging $50 round trip for family just to be able to sit together. Baggage fees are bad enough. Airlines can't treat your child like
She's
a piece
drunk.
of baggage.
Lisa, which
We
Americans
can't
are
fucking
tired of
afford
being-
eggs. Why are we
we're
talking
tired
about
of being played
airlines?
for suckers.
bill are you talking about?
So pass-
I just want to make sure I answer correctly.
Pass the Junk Free Prevention Act so companies stop ripping us off. For too long,
Oh,
Workers have
exit
been getting
Houston
stiffed.
Owl. Problematic's
anymore.
gonna be pissed.
we're beginning to restore the dignity of work. For
Is that an
example,
out? Oh, it is.
I should have known this, but I didn't until 2 years ago. 30 million workers have to sign non-compete agreements for the jobs they take. 30 million.
He's been in
A
government
cashier
all these
at a
years
burger
and didn't know
place.
about non-compete
Can't
clauses.
walk across town.
Didn't he go to
Take
law
the
school?
same
Isn't that
job at
his?
another burger place.
Can you
and make
blame
it feel
any
like
of
the
us
line?
for
Just
being
changed.
drunk
Graduated
at this
Papa's
point?
class. He
change
got
because
7
it's
degrees.
exposed.
So
That was
Big
part of the deal, guys.
The
Look
Fee
it up.
Act.
But not anymore. We're banning those
The
agreements so
number of
companies have
fees
to
are
compete for
regulatory
workers and pay them what
relationship
they're
Yep.
worth.
invoices. $20 for dozen items of fees on family list and Jack the Cat read baggage fees. But
And I must tell you, we're bound to
That's
get a
good,
response from my
guys.
friends on my left but the right.
be drinking a handle in that
I'm so
mofo.
sick and tired of companies.
No shit, like
breaking
bring
the
in
law
your
by
little sippy
preventing
cup.
workers from
Be
organizing.
like-
Pass the PRO Act because business have a right. Workers have a right to
Identity
form a
theft
union.
isn't a joke. I get. I'd be
Let's
smuggling
back
booze
workers
in.
up
Same.
a living wage.
It would be lit.
Let's make
Look
sure
closely in the
working
bottom
families
there.
can afford to raise a
You
family
see it? I
with
don't know if
sick
you can
days,
zoom in.
paid family medical leave, affordable child care.
At your icon?
That's going to enable
Yeah, can you blow it up or
millions
no?
of more people to go and stay at work. And let's restore
I mean,
the
if I
full
make you like the
child tax
solo
credit.
layout,
I don't
Let's
want
give
to so
tens of millions
oh yeah.
of parents some
There.
breathing room and cut child poverty in half to the
You
lowest
know who that
level in
is?
history. And by the way, we
it's
do
you
all
and
these
I don't know
things.
who's
No, that's
third.
not me. That's Nick Fuentes.
We increase economic
Yeah.
growth. So let's finish the job. You get more families access to
How
affordable
many
quality
times is this guy
housing.
going to say finish
Let's
the
get
job?
seniors who want to stay in their homes, the care they need to
Arguably
do
more
so.
than Bill Clinton.
Let's give more breathing room to millions of
A
family
lot of people out there
caregivers
hoping to not
looking
get
after
paid
their
what
loved
they're
ones.
worth for sure.
Pass my plan so we get
Let's
seniors
just
and
give
people with
unicorns
disabilities
and-
the home care and services they need.
Skittles to
Support
everybody.
No
the
worries,
workers
Joey.
who are doing God's work.
You are missed though.
These plans are fully paid for and we can afford to do them.
No,
We're
nothing
still
is
gonna give
paid
more
for.
communities
Nothing.
education and affordable tickets to the middle class. You know, when we made public education, 12 years of it universal,
Elise is
in the last
having
century.
none of it.
we made the best educated, best paid, we became the best educated, best paid nation in the world.
We
The
are
rest of us
neither of
caught
those.
up. It's caught up. Jill, my wife, who teaches full time,
Oh,
has an expression.
Dr. Jill
I hope I
Biden.
get it right, kid. Any nation that's
Should we-
out,
We should give that one because he's like,
Out
she's a
compete us.
teacher.
any nation out educates can outcompete us.
Yeah.
Folks, we all know 12 years of education is not enough to win the economic competition of 21st century.
He's creating all these jobs. We don't need a college degree anymore. He just told us we don't need
Yeah.
it.
I'm just swiping in the hope that I get to see this
$165,000.
motherfucker
By
shit himself.
providing access to preschool for 3 and 4 years old. Children to go to preschool are nearly
We love you.
50% more likely to finish high school and go on to earn a 2 or 4 year degree, no matter their background.
Okay, are we giving the Dr. Jill Biden
Let's give
square?
public school
Yep.
teachers a raise.
You have Dr. Jill Biden. Check the box.
What are they yelling?
They have national test
There
scores
was a-
do not
there
reflect
was
that.
a
You're
gallery
correct,
thing.
Ty. That's
Isn't that-
true.
By reducing
Especially after
student
COVID.
debt, increasing Pell Grants
There was a
for
gallery.
working and middle class families.
Boy, this guy's got a big
Job.
fucking checkbook. You know
To
that?
connect students to career opportunities
I'm gonna
starting in
turn
high
you
school.
up real quick.
Provide access to 2 years of community college. The best career training in America, in addition to being a pathway to a 4-year degree. Let's
You're bragging
offer
about a
every
job you don't
American
need a
path
degree
to good
for.
career, whether they go to
Academic
college or not.
manager.
And folks, in the midst of the COVID crisis, when schools were closed and we were
Yeah.
shutting down everything, let's recognize how
Did you
far we
guys
came
see
in
that,
the fight
like,
against the pandemic.
We all
While the
that
virus
thought
did
was
not
all the way out here. It was almost gone.
Very
You
short circuit.
He got like the
Woo!
tail feather of that thought and
put
brought
our
it
deficit
back.
down by 90%. We've saved millions of lives and opened up our country. We opened our country back up, and soon we'll
What's
end
up,
the
Lone
Ranger?
emergency. But that's
We're
called
getting
a
Yeah.
health
close to-
emergency.
We're getting
They're
close
having a
to
hard
shoulder
time
now.
indoctrinating
Wait,
the
wait.
first 12, so they're going to
Pain.
move it to 20.
It's never going to go away.
COVID doesn't end. Is that what he's
1 million
saying?
Americans lost their lives to COVID. 1 million.
Bang! I thought that was a
Family
lost cause.
Children orphaned.
Weapons
Empty
of
chairs at the
war
dining room table,
is all I
constantly
need.
reminding
And
you,
well, he does say, well, soon we'll
She's
end the
secret.
public emergency.
remembering them. We remain vigilant.
It's my shirt
still
from
need
my
to
store,
monitor
so I'm
dozens
not
of
really going to
variants
win,
and
but
support new
bragging
vaccines
rights
and
feels good.
treatments.
More money
So
for
Congress needs to
Ukraine
fund these
is
efforts
all
and
I
keep
have
America
left, and I
safe.
have bingo.
And as we emerge from this crisis
That's definitely happening.
stronger, we're also got to double down on prosecuting criminals who stole relief money meant to keep workers
System
and small
reset for
businesses
sure.
afloat.
Cue up the dial modem sound. That's what it looked like.
Is that Merrick Garland?
Yep.
Shouldn't he be one of the ones who stays seated, like the military and
Before I
the
came to
Supreme
office, you
Court
remember?
and stuff?
No, he's a Democrat,
DOJ.
In that campaign,
Lexi.
the big issue was about inspector generals who would protect taxpayers' dollars who were sidelined. They were
All
fired.
the orphaned COVID victims
Many people said we
here.
don't need them. And fraud became rampant. Last year, I told you the watchdogs are back. Since then, we've recovered billions of taxpayers' dollars. Now
I
let's
don't
triple
believe
the
that.
anti-fraud strike force going after these criminals.
They're
Double
never
the
gonna get
statute
that
of limitations
freaking
on
money.
I don't
We
believe
took those
that.
dollars and we
on identity
immediately
fraud by
shrink
criminal
wrapped them and
syndicates
shipped them.
stealing billions of
No,
dollars.
his president just said
Billions
he
of
wants
dollars
to
from the
increase the
American people.
DOJ.
It's their
And the
fucking
data
money.
shows.
They're just never gonna get that money
All they
back.
put into fighting
No.
fraud, the taxpayers get
They're
back
just
at
going to
least
take
10
our money and
times
tell
as
us they're
much.
looking for it.
It matters. It matters. Look, COVID left its scars, like the spike in violent crime in 2020, the first year of the pandemic.
That wasn't COVID.
We have an obligation
Caused
to make
by
sure
COVID?
all people
That
are
was
safe.
not COVID.
Public safety depends on public trust, as all of us know. But too often that
Oh, I
trust is
hate it.
violated. Joining us tonight are the parents of Tyree Nichols. Welcome.
God, I wish that was the name he was going to forget, just because that would have been a big news
That's gonna
story.
really help the trial.
Pretty sure the JCS, mostly blue ties as well. They got
We had
latex
to bury
doggy masks in their
Tyree
foot
last
lockers.
week.
Why did Exit steal QP's face?
As many of you personally know, there's no word to describe the
Oh,
heartache
he's
or
gonna
grief
be
of
pissed
losing
when
a
he
child.
wakes up
UP's
tomorrow.
face.
Imagine.
For the
He's
record.
already, yeah, he's already in bed.
Imagine
He'll
if
find
you
out
lost that
tomorrow.
child at the hands
I
of the
gotta
law.
get better at Adobe Illustrator. but
Imagine.
I'm gonna make
Having to worry whether your son or
avatar
daughter came
with
home from walking down the
Nick
street,
Fuentes wearing an owl suit.
playing in the park, or just driving a
That's my
car.
goal.
Oh, now he's going to go
Most
off
of
on
us in
cops.
here have never had to have the talk
IRS just made new training on
talk
finding unreported
that
tips
brown and
about
black
targeting
parents have had
service
to have.
Oh,
with their children.
bartenders.
Here we go.
Oh,
My
honey,
parents had the
Ashton, my
talk with
children.
me. I'm
I
just,
never
No,
had
this
that.
is
that-
the you might
is
get
that the-
killed talk.
Never
Is
had
that
to
the
tell them.
racist? Is
We
that
thought
good?
yeah, my
it was
parents
over.
told me, put your hands on the
Turn your
wheel.
lights on
Don't
right
reach for
away.
anything. Just
Don't reach for your license. Keep your hands on the steering wheel.
Yeah, all of our parents said that.
Imagine having to worry like that every single time your kid got in a car. Here's what Tyree's mother shared with me when I spoke to her. When I asked her how she finds the courage to carry on and speak out.
Can
The
you
faith
just hear
of
the
God, she
producer
said
in the
her
truck?
son was,
Stay
quote,
on him.
beautiful
Stay on
soul,
him.
and something good
Yeah.
will come of this. Imagine how much
Not yet,
courage
Minnie.
and carry that takes. It's up to us, to all of us.
This
We all
is
want the same thing.
kind of the weird whisper, but
Neighborhoods
not
free
really.
of violence. Law enforcement.
Well, we already had the
unfortunately,
whisper,
earn
so-
the community's trust. Just as every cop when they pin on that badge in the morning has a right to be able to go home at night, so does everybody else out there.
yeah.
That's true, Ty.
Our children have a right to come home safely.
Comply. I got the talk. Comply. We will deal with it in court. Yep.
Yeah, that's
Same.
what my dad always said.
Under the
Don't
law
say
is a
anything.
covenant we have with each other in America.
Yes, sir, and no, sir is all you should say.
We know police officers put their lives on the line every single night and day.
And I've driven away
We know
from
we
9
ask
out
them
of
in many
10
cases to do too much to be counselors, social workers, psychologists, responding to drug overdoses, mental health crises, and so much more. In one sense, we ask much too much of them. I know most cops and their families
You're
are
like,
good,
go for the.
decent,
Please
honorable
be
people,
left.
the
Please
vast
be left.
majority.
Please be left.
But they risk
It's Shut the fuck up Friday. Ask for an attorney. Yep.
Always, always.
Today on Shut the Fuck
Oh.
Up Friday.
and they risk their lives every time they put that shield on. But what happened to Tyree in Memphis happens too often. We have to do better. Give law enforcement the real training they need. Hold them to higher standards.
You know, I just wonder who he already had on the
Help them
docket
succeed
and then
and
got
keep them
booted
safe.
because this poor
Booted
kid
for
got
this? Yeah.
killed.
We
You know
also
what I
need
mean?
more first
just
responders
moved
and
over to
professionals
not
to
be
address the
talked
growing
about.
mental health, substance abuse challenges. More resources, reduce violent crime and gun crime.
Oop,
More
oop, oop.
community intervention programs. More investment in housing, education, and job training.
More investment in crumbling
All this
Eastern Bloc
to help
nation.
prevent violence in the first place. When police officers or police
I need
departments
weapons of
violate the
war.
public trust, they must be held accountable. With the support of the families of victims, civil rights groups, and law enforcement, I signed
Okay,
an
I'll be right back.
executive order for all federal officers.
Ooh, executive order.
Banning chokeholds, restricting
yeah.
no-knock warrants, and other key elements of the
That's
George
on there. I don't
Floyd
think I
Act.
have it.
Let's commit ourselves to make the words of Tyler's mom true. Something good must come from this.
Did he just say
Something good.
Tyler?
And all of us. All of us.
Cough. Bang.
Cough, and he said Tyler.
Okay, what did I
heard him
miss?
say Tyler.
It's simple. All of us. in the
I'm
team-
pretty
in the
sure he
team
said Tyler.
need to
He
rise
said
to
Tyler,
this
and he
moment.
coughed. That's two.
If he
You
got
can't
a
turn
name
away.
wrong, then Minnie
Let's
wins
do what we know
because
in
that's
our
all she was
hearts.
missing.
We need to do.
Okay,
Let's
Jake
come
says he
together
said
and finish
Tyler
the
too.
job on police
So I think we're
reform.
gonna.
Do something.
All right,
We're gonna
Minnie,
say-
you win a
Do
T-shirt
something.
of your choice
That
from
was
my
the plea of
site.
parents who lost their children in Uvalde. I
Congratulations.
met with every one of them. Do something about gun violence. Thank God. Thank God we did. Pass
Did
it
you?
on.
Because a Milwaukee police officer was just killed last night
Yeah.
by a 19-year-old kid.
That the majority of responsible gun owners already support. Enhanced background checks for 18 to 21 years old. Red flag laws, keeping guns out of the hands of people who are a danger to
Here it
themselves
comes.
and others. But we
Comes
know our
guns.
work is not done. Join us tonight is Brandon Say, a 26-year-old hero. Brandon put his
Oh my
college
God.
dreams on hold to be at his mom's side. His mom saw it when she was dying.
This is
from
the guy who was lucky enough to wrestle a gun away from an armed person and like not get shot.
We have not had no more inflation. He didn't say
Not
that.
yet.
Studio
That's gonna
started by
hit.
his grandparents. And 2 weeks ago, during the Lunar New Year celebrations, he heard the studio door close. He saw a man standing there pointing semi-automatic pistol at him. He thought he was going to die, but he thought about the people inside. And in that instant, he found the courage to act and wrestled a semi-automatic pistol away from the
Oh, I
gunman
lied.
who had
Minnie
already
still
killed
needs one
11
more.
people in another dance studio.
She
11.
needs a come on man.
He saved lives.
It's
Time
coming,
we
I'm
do the
sure.
same.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I thought it was
Ban
right there.
assault weapons
Did-
now. Ban them now.
Ooh,
What is
and
an
assault
assault
weapons. He
weapon?
didn't say weapons of war.
No.
Isn't
Did
that
we
what an
get a-
assault weapon is?
No.
Is it a
Hey,
baseball
Did we
bat?
get more? Did we have more money for Ukraine and
Nope.
reduce deficit?
Nope.
Not yet.
I'm waiting.
Oh,
Raw
reduce
vaccines
that.
went
Yes.
down after we let it expire in the Republican
He
administration.
did stutter. He stuttered like right
Vaccines
away.
tripled.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like, oh, that was
He went off
semi-auto,
script
yeah.
and stuttered in the first
He
minute.
just said he's
Let's
just
also come
fucking
together on
he's a
immigration.
dick.
Make it a
Adam, the reason that he
bipartisan issue once
specifically
again.
called that out is to go along with the fucking ATF rules.
We now have a record number of personnel working to secure the border, arresting 8,000 human smugglers.
Oh, he's
seizing
addressing the
over
border, Heather. That score is
2,000
gone.
pounds of fentanyl in just the last several months.
Wow, that didn't take long.
We've launched
Is that
a new
national
border
security,
plan
Heather?
last month. Unlawful migration from Cuba,
Mm.
Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela
That's
has
border.
found 90
Oh, I
There's
hate that
no-
fucking guy.
consequences of that.
There's no more kids in cages then, right?
Problems won't be fixed until Congress acts. If we don't pass my comprehensive immigration reform, at least pass my plan to provide the equipment and officers to secure the border.
Shut the fuck. Are you kidding me? Is he white? Is he real right now?
Cruz.
You are a fucking joke.
I don't have enough legal Delta 8 THC for this.
Workers, essential workers. Here in the people's house, it's our duty to protect all the people's rights and freedoms.
This guy's fucking
Congress
prick.
must restore the right and the
You're a whore.
You're a
Sorry,
whore.
what?
Wait, that's not what you're
Congress
saying, but
must
that's
restore
funny.
the right
What's that,
that
sir?
was taken away in Roe v. Wade and protect Roe v. Wade.
Oh,
Oh, they were talking about his mom.
Give everyone
she's a
Or his
whore.
wife.
Protect access to reproductive health care and safeguard
Rape.
patient safety.
Those
Already
fucking
more than
assholes
We're
in the
going to
Supreme
free
Court.
range antibiotic free migrant folks.
I love the act.
the national ban, I will veto. it.
Dirty whores. Warcraft.
But let's also
Heather, how
World
did you
of
sneak that
Warcraft.
into Congress? That was really good. That's talent.
What a fucking
He just let a Chinese
ensure
balloon
LGBTQ
travel across the
Americans
country.
LGBTQ, he just said
What
alphabet.
about
Alphabet
what about the other letters?
What the fuck is a banana doing in
Strength is
there?
not just the example of our power, but the power of our example. Let's remember the
Ooh.
world's
Oh, he
largest-
stole that from somebody.
He sat back in the
That's
chair after
stolen.
that one.
Somebody
and
should
was
look
like,
that up real
"Oh."
fast.
After Vladimir Putin unleashed his brutal attack.
Have we got
against
national
Ukraine.
security yet?
Murderous assault, evoking images of death and destruction Europe suffered in World War II. Putin's invasion has been a test for the ages, test for America,
She does.
test for the world.
For sure.
Would we stand for the most
She's
basic of
mad 'cause
principles?
she knows that she could do
Will we
better and
stand
she'll
for
never have
sovereignty?
that position.
We stand for the right of people to live free of tyranny? Will we stand for the defense of democracy?
Yes, he
For
did.
such defense
Absolutely,
matters to us
Rev.
because it keeps peace and prevents open season
The
on would-be
political porn
aggressors
style.
and threatens our prosperity.
Fuck
1 year
you.
later,
I cannot stand
We
him.
know the answer. Yes, we would, and we did. We did.
Do you guys know that while the Chinese balloon was flying overhead, that
And
we
together,
released the coordinator of
We
the
did what
9/11
America always
attacks
does at our best.
Yep.
per
We
Anthony
led.
Blinken out of
We
Gitmo?
united NATO. We built a global coalition. We stood against Putin's aggression. We stood with the Ukrainian people to tonight.
No joke.
We're once again joined
Yeah,
by the
I guess
Ukrainian
that's
ambassador
cool
to the United
now.
States. She represents not her
Oh,
just her
good.
nation, but the courage of her people. Ambassador is our ambassador is here.
I'm sure he's
United
gonna go
in
get one of those
united in
jobs
support of your country.
that were created.
Will you stand so we can all take a look at you?
He forgot her name, so
He did.
Thank you.
if the other one was a mishearing on some of us, it still
The Mama
happened.
Light
He is
We're gonna
predictable.
stand with you as long as it takes.
Ooh.
Is that Mr.
that-
Pelosi?
Is that more money for Ukraine?
That's Mr. Pelosi.
Oh, I think it is.
It
I think
is.
it is. I think you're right.
Yes, he was giving her
With
a
the
kiss.
hat.
Not just in Europe, but everywhere.
I have bingo.
Before I came to office, the story was about.
Hey, have you
how
said
the
national
People's
security yet,
Republic of
Heather?
China was increasing its
Nope.
Done
power,
national? Nope.
and America
Did
was
he say
failing.
You
COVID
just
will
count
never
more
end,
money
or
for
did he just-
Ukraine.
No.
with that?
Yeah.
We made clear. and
Whatever
I
it
made
takes.
In my personal conversations with the
Oh, does that
All right.
count? Well, you gotta tell everybody, man.
We see competition, not conflict.
So we're checking the Ukraine
But I will make
box.
no
And he
More
never
money
actually
for
said-
Ukraine.
He never
that
said
we're
weapons of
investing
war.
and to make America stronger.
He
Investing
looks
in American
confident.
innovation and industry
He looks like he
will
feels
define
good about what's happening around
China
him.
that tends to be dominated.
He's gonna
so
off
sad
himself
and
in 2
pathetic.
hours. He needs to go on
And working with
suicide
our
watch
allies
right
to
now.
Protect advanced technologies so they will not be used against us.
He's sad because his trip
Modernizing
to
our
China got
military.
canceled.
I do
Safeguard
agree.
stability
He
and
did forget
deterrent-
the name.
Deter aggression.
Say it.
Today,
Yeah,
Say
yeah,
it, bitch.
we're in the
definitely.
strongest
That was the
position in
second one,
decades to
though.
compete with China or
Yes,
anyone
guys,
else in the
forgot the
world.
name. This is the
Anywhere
second
else in the
time,
world.
by the way.
Downplaying
Purple
China?
Face
I'm pretty
Grind,
sure he
this
said
guy.
Tyler and not Tyree, which counted.
I'm committed to work with China where we can advance American interests.
And
benefit
he has
the
yelled
world, but
aggressively.
Make no mistake about it.
Oh, that's a
As we
square.
made clear last
Downplaying
week,
China or
threatens our
something. Isn't that a
sovereignty.
square?
We
Yep.
will act to protect our country, and we did.
I don't have that one, but that's one.
Yeah.
He's
have
talking
downplayed
about
Yes,
national
China.
Minnie,
security.
downplayed China threat. Yes.
Let's be clear.
He's talking about national security,
Winning
right?
the competition should deny all of it. We face
I think he has
serious
to
challenges
say
across the
national
he
world.
has to say it,
security,
okay.
maybe.
But in the past 2 years, democracies have become stronger, not weaker. Autocracy has grown weaker, not stronger. Name me a world leader who changed
Boom.
places with Xi Jinping. Name me one.
Ooh,
Name me one.
whoa.
yelling.
Oh, that's a better yelling thing.
Yelling aggressively.
yelling.
From climate to
That
global
box
health,
is checked
to
for
food
sure
insecurity,
now.
to terrorism, to territorial aggression. Allies are stepping up, spending more, and doing more.
Really?
Look, the bridges we're forming between partners in the Pacific and those in the Atlantic, and those who bet against America are learning
The guy they
how
released
wrong
is
they
42
are.
years old. Not sure
It's
he
never,
masterminded
ever been a
9/11.
good bet to bet against
I'm just going
America.
off the
Never.
Gateway Pundit article. Looks like he pooped himself. Any sleepy SCOTUS judges? Ooh. We haven't really showed SCOTUS very much tonight.
Well,
Are the Democrats cheering
I came to
USA
office,
right
they
now?
love
The
that shit.
bipartisanship assumed was impossible, but never believed it. That's
You
why a
think they're
year ago I
confused
offered
when
a
that comes up?
nation as I stood here. We made real progress together. We
China
passed a
should
law
take
making it
Taiwan
easy for
tomorrow.
doctors to prescribe effective treatments for opioid addiction. We passed
He wants people to name
the
him
gun
one because he
safety law,
forgot
making
those
historic
names.
investments in mental health. We launched the
Oh,
ARPA
seriously?
for breakthrough in the
Name me
fights
one.
against cancer,
Come
Alzheimer's,
on,
and
man, and I
diabetes.
got it
There's
straight
so much
across.
more. We passed the Heath Robinson Pact Act, named
Cough,
after the late
motherfucker,
Iraqi
cough.
veteran with a story about
He
exposure
coughed.
to toxic burn
We
He did
cough
cough?
already.
shared here
Yeah.
last year.
All right, Minnie, he coughed.
Minnie is in on this bingo, man. Love
Yeah,
it.
she is. I love it.
I understand something about those burn pits, but there's so much more to do.
The ones in Ohio?
We can do it together. Join
Oh,
us
he's just gonna
tonight
skip right over his
with a father named
sunbow.
Doug
Just skip right over him like he
from
doesn't
New
love him.
Hampshire. He wrote Jill, my wife, a letter, and me
That's
as
all I
well,
need is a
about
bow.
his courageous daughter, Courtney. A contagious laugh, his sister's best friend, her sister's best friend. He shared a story all too familiar to millions of Americans and many of you in the audience. Courtney discovered pills in high school. It spiraled into addiction and eventually death from a fentanyl overdose. She was just 20 years old.
It's sad.
Describing the last 8 years without her, Doug said, There's no worse pain. Yet their family has turned pain to purpose, working to end the stigma.
This
and
is always
change
weird
laws.
to me when they do this.
He told us he wants to
Mhm.
start
Me
a
too.
journey.
It's
to
so
America.
uncomfortable.
How is this the State of the Union?
Doug,
You're
we're with you.
showcasing that drug addiction
Fentanyl
is
is killing more than 70,000 Americans a year.
like, what are you doing about it?
That's your fucking fault, Joe.
Oh, close
your
the
fault.
You
border.
got it.
It's your fault.
It's your fault, Joe.
And he smiles. Look
So
at him.
let's launch a major surge to stop fentanyl production and the sale and trafficking with more
It did-
drug detection machines, inspection cargo, stop pills and powder.
So which one of your buddies builds drug detection machines?
It's being
Working
built
with
in the
couriers like
fucking
FedEx and send
Amazon,
more
bro.
packages for drugs. Strong penalties to crack down on fentanyl trafficking. Second, let's do more on mental health, especially for our children. When millions of young people are struggling with
fucked them
bullying,
all up.
violence,
Because you
trauma,
fucked them all up by
give
locking
greater
them in
access to
their
mental health care
homes.
at their schools.
They're selling fentanyl in pharmacies.
Healthcare at schools. That's what schools are for.
Experimenting, they're
He's
doing
letting
running
it across
children
the
for
border.
profit.
Then
It's time to
fucking
pass
border.
bipartisan legislation
Holy crap, balls, this
to
is
stop
hilarious.
big
I agree,
tech
Adam. This is like
from collecting personal
probably
data
one of the
on
most
kids.
entertaining State of the Union
teenagers
addresses I've ever
online.
watched.
Ban targeted
But it's because of bingo, though, I
It's
think.
just so much. He's just a liar. It's
That's
fucking
also facts.
weird.
On all of us.
It
like-
feels really like disjointed to me. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
he keeps leaving and coming back to things.
It's a sacred obligation.
Minnie posted a
Equip those
picture
we
of her
send into
bingo
harm's
card.
way,
She
care for
did
them and their
officially
families when they come
win.
home. Job training, job placement for
God, I
veterans.
was so
and their spouses
close.
as they
But
come
I'm going to
return
3, so
civilian
you
life.
can
Oh,
still
God.
get one.
Helping veterans with
Say national security, you fuckface.
no
That's
one
what
should
you
be homeless
do.
in America, especially someone who served the country.
I mean, did he say gas prices?
No,
No.
and these gas prices will
God.
win.
I want to do a whole Super Bowl with bingo cards now.
Yeah, we should do that, huh? Who's
Just watch
calling
the
it?
whole-
Did they say
Watch the
inflation
whole
was? Did he
Super
say
Bowl?
inflation was over?
Oh, Pfizer,
Okay.
please don't fail us.
We had a
I didn't
first
play the
real
bingo, I was
discussion
dry
when I asked him
firing.
to take the job.
Did he
Glad
say
he did.
inflation was over?
Hold
We were losing up to 25
Is dry
veterans a day
firing-
on suicide.
Inflation is over, he
Now
did
we're
not
losing
say.
17 a day.
Exit.
For the silent
Does
scourge
dry
of
firing
suicide.
mean jacking off?
17 veterans a day are committing suicide.
No,
More than all the people being killed in the war.
dry firing is where you're firing.
I
your-
know that.
Oh.
but I was-
VA
Oh.
Never mind.
I thought
including
you were
expanding
saying that. I didn't know.
It's
It was
just
health
dry
screening.
firing, bro.
Proven programs that
Did he mention raise the debt ceiling or
help other
executive
veterans
order?
understand what they're going through.
Executive
And
order,
drinking
yeah.
Oh, we did
Yeah.
executive order.
We got to do more. And fourth, last year, Jill and
Kamala
I
looks like
reignited
she's
the
about to
cancer
fucking fall
moonshot
asleep.
that I was able to start with President Obama asked me to lead our
She knows
administration.
everyone hates her.
Our goal is to cut the cancer death rates
Your goal is to
at
get a
least by
fucking
50%
pension.
in the next 25 years.
Little pad that.
I
savings.
want someone to
Terminal
count the
cancers
number of
and
times
death
she said
sentences
cancer
to
in this speech.
Treatable
It's a lot.
diseases. Provide more
And yet he
support for
hasn't
patients
brought up
and
the
their
train
families.
one time.
It's personal to so many of us. So many of us in this
Here he
audience.
goes.
Joining us are Morris and Candice, an
Just
Irishman and
parading
daughter.
Not my
Ruth.
son, Bo.
They met and fell in love in New York City and got married in the same chapel Jill and I got
With
married in New York
president in
City.
20 years to talk about suicide
Kindred
rates among
spirits.
service members with
He wrote us a
abstinence
letter
control results from
about his
any
little daughter Ava, and I saw her just before I came over. She was just a year old when she was diagnosed with rare kidney disease, cancer. After 26 blood transfusions, 11 rounds of radiation, 8 rounds of chemo, 1 kidney removed.
She did play 8 rounds of
5%
Keno, though. She had a
survival
good time.
He wrote how in the darkest moments he thought, if she goes, I can't stay. Many of you have been through that as well. Jill and I understand that like so many of you. And he read Jill's
Jilly.
book describing our family's cancer journey
Oh, Chile.
and how we tried to steal moments of joy where we could with Bo.
Oh,
Oh, bingo!
Of their baby girl.
I
And everything.
missed it. What did he say?
Never
Bo?
gave up
Did he
hope.
say executive
Did he
order
finally say
already?
Bo?
Never gave
Heather,
up hope.
yes, he said Bo. Did he say executive order
Transformed
already?
next month.
no.
They just found out Ava's beating the odds, is on her way to being cured of cancer. And she's watching from the White House tonight, and she's not asleep already. For the lives we can save. For the lives we can
Dude,
save.
I'm
and the
so good
lives
at
we've
beginner's
lost.
luck.
Let this be a truly American moment that rallies the country and the world together.
Eric,
and
will you
proves
do
that
me
we
a
can
huge
still do
favor?
big things.
Will you
20 years
screenshot
ago,
your
under the
bingo
leadership
card
of
and put
President
it in the
Bush
thread on
and
Twitter so
countless
I
advocates and
remember
champions,
who
He
won?
undertook a bipartisan
I'm
effort through PEPFAR to
literally
transform
doing
the
that
global
right
fight
now
against
as we
HIV/AIDS. It's been a huge success. He thought big. He thought large. He moved.
Actually, I'm gonna
I believe we
retweet
can do the
this
same thing with cancer.
with it.
Let's end cancer as we know it,
Oh, for
Sure,
fuck's
sometimes.
sake!
Oh,
Really?
Jesus.
once and for
Fucking
all.
Bono.
Folks,
We're gonna end
there's
cancer
one reason
again.
why we've been able to do all of these things
And Bono will help
for
us do
democracy
that
itself.
with a song.
The most fundamental thing
It's
of
all
all.
healthcare reform rhetoric.
Ooh,
These
State
people
of
don't fuck about
Confusion
the
is
right to milk in
trending.
the aisles or the fuel
Without
and
it,
pumps. Out of
nothing
touch
is.
doesn't begin to
For
describe
the
this.
last few years, our
100%.
democracy has been threatened and attacked, put at risk.
It's nice
Put
not
to
to
the
see
test
Nancy
for you.
in
Bynum.
this
Second,
very
Joey.
room on January
True.
the 6th. And then just a few
Congressman
months
keeps
ago,
raising his damn cane.
an unhinged big lie, assailing
I don't know. I
unleashed
thought the same
political
thing.
violence, the home of the then Speaker of the House of Representatives, using the very same
They're going to
language
talk about Pelosi's
insurrectionists
attack. Is that what he's talking
use
about?
Oh, see,
as they stalk these halls and
the
chanted on
banana
January
dress
Oh, is
is
she
already
adjusting
a
your
gift.
teeth?
Here tonight in this chamber is a man who bears the scars of that brutal attack, but is as tough and as strong as resilient as they get. My friend Paul Pelosi. Paul, stand up.
I think she was mumbling, Heather.
Oh, yeah. She for sure adjusted her teeth. If you have that on your bingo card,
right.
you can check the box.
We're calling.
That's Al Green,
Such a heinous act should
the
have never
congressman
happened.
from Houston, Joey.
We must all speak out. There's no place for political violence in America. We have to protect
Yeah,
the
I
right
have
to vote,
Pelosi's
not
teeth
suppress
on
the
mine.
fat fundamental right. Honor the results of our elections, not subvert the will of the people.
Ooh.
We have to uphold the rule of law
Nancy
and restore
fixes
trust in our
teeth.
institutions of
Ooh,
democracy.
nice.
We
I
must
hit a
give
double.
hate and extremism in any form no safe harbor.
I don't know. James
Democracy
are probably voted against
must
abolition.
not be a
I
partisan issue.
crushed a few squares in just
It's
the
an
last
American
few
issue.
topics. That was fun.
U2's
Every
music gives me ear
generation of Americans
cancer.
has faced a moment where they have been called to protect our democracy,
So
defend
weird
it,
seeing
stand
you
up
with
for it.
pants on
And this is our moment. My fellow Americans,
without a drink in his
we meet
hand
tonight at an inflection point.
and no hammer.
One of those moments that only a few generations ever face, where the direction we now take is going to decide the course of this nation for decades to come. We're not bystanders of history. We're not powerless before the forces that confront us.
Oh, that's
It's
stolen.
within our power of we the people. We're facing the
That's
test of our
definitely
time.
stolen.
Yeah.
We have to be the nation we've always been at our best. Optimistic, hopeful, forward-looking. A nation that embraces light over dark, hope over fear, unity over division, stability over chaos.
Yeah.
See each other not as enemies, but as fellow Americans. We're good people. The only nation
Well,
in
that's
the
fellow
world built on
Americans.
an idea. The only one.
If not us, who? If not now, when? Right, Joe?
Other nations are defined by geography, ethnicity. But we're the only nation based on an idea that all of us, every one of us, is created equal in the image of God.
Our whole country's an idea
nation
because we're
that
not
stands as
fucking
a beacon
protecting
of
our
the
borders,
world.
fuckface.
A nation.
We don't have a
What about
fucking
those
Fucking
country.
babies and like
possibility.
life? The right to life.
So I've come to fulfill my constitutional obligation to report in the State of the Union.
The forces
And here's
confronting
my
us are our own
report.
government. Facts.
Because the soul of this nation is strong. Because the backbone of this nation is strong. Because the people of this nation are strong. The State of the Union is strong.
Yep, I agree, Lisa. It is not
Oh.
strong. I will
Sorry.
say, like, you can tell, like, he very glossed over any sort of foreign policy and our status on the world
What about
stage.
the balloon, Mr. President? The balloon.
He has said so little about China, so little about
How have we
I'm
gone?
new to this place. I
Iran.
stand here
We haven't
tonight
gone this far.
to
He
serve
hasn't
as
said the
long
word
as
national
any one of
security
you have
in
ever
a
served
State
here.
of the Union.
Correct.
China
But
just
I've
flew a
never
fucking
been
balloon
more
across our country.
optimistic about our
He hasn't
future,
said that.
about the future of America. Just to remember who we are. We're the United States of America, and there's nothing beyond our capacity if we do it together. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops.
There's nothing wrong with America that can't be fixed by what is right with America, Joe. Right? Stay
If we just get a double assassination, we got McCarthy.
It had to be the time release shit because he went up and down. I
Yeah, he
think there
did.
was some stuff dissolving and
Yep.
kicking in various
Yep.
minutes.
Okay,
had some-
so
Whoa, don't fall, buddy.
I know. I just had the same thought.
I'm gonna mute
Nope.
this while we watch
Shakes
the
a
rest.
ghost's hand should have been on there.
All right. So how many bingos do we have first? That's most important.
Two.
At least 2 that I know of. I don't know where my mouse is on this. There you
Hey,
are.
how did he not say national? That blows me away. He didn't talk about the gas. Well, I guess it was only a little bit he could talk about, really.
Yeah.
And because they were calling him out when he started to bullshit.
So this is okay. Let's talk about just a couple things. Eric, I know you got to go shortly, if not now, but
I'll be right back.
So overall, general consensus, this was a pretty standard speech, but I'm really surprised. Like you said, Chris, a foreign country just flew a fucking balloon over our right before we were supposed to send a diplomatic
3 days ago.
Yeah.
Right before we're supposed to send a diplomat. That's correct. Also, releasing prisoners.
But the whole way he handled the whole balloon thing, like, what do you expect him to do? Like,
yeah,
definitely not going to talk
there
about
wasn't. I guess now, exit that you say that there's not a lot he really could talk about because when he started to get out of line a little bit, they checked him.
Yeah, he's been
Republicans
semi-victory
They
lapping
yelled at
that
him.
they
They were
shot
like,
it
"No."
down over the ocean.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before, really, where one side was literally screaming at the other, like at him
It's
during the State of the
devolving.
Union. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so let's go ahead and talk about that, right? So in the history of all of the State of the Unions that I've ever watched, this was the worst as far as what would be considered from a modicum of respect. This would be the most disrespectful State of the Union that I've ever watched. Yeah. And I'm surprised.
They just don't give a fuck about him.
Well, it shows how little he's respected in our own country. And then when you look at that on the world stage, imagine how disrespected we really are in that regard. You know, if their own country doesn't respect him, why should we?
Well, I feel like it's even bigger than that because remember when, I mean, it was Obama and like somebody had yelled at him and like this was this big story and all of that. The fact that wasn't happening for Obama and now it's happening here. I don't even know that it's so much like who's in office. I feel like it felt like a very big, like general discontent with government.
Right.
A little bit to me. Like it's not just him. It's all of this stuff. It feels like everybody's really tense, you know?
It's a little bit of a loosening of just our moral fabric, too. People are much more likely and quick to jump into fights and scream at each other. And maybe it's just bleeding into politics and our quote-unquote leaders. I don't know. You know, you see, like, to bring it to sports for a second, you see NBA players punching each other on the basketball court, and then you see sixth graders doing it. It's like, this is probably the leaders you end up with.
Really quick, since you said sports, to everyone who's watching my show right now, excuse me, I about couldn't talk. Chris and Eric run a show called Patriot Sports Radio, and I will edit the text in all of the streams so that you guys can find their show. Sunday, they're doing a massive Super Bowl special, right? Sunday?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
8 Central
At 8 Central. And
to 11.
I highly encourage you guys to check it out. They've got some really good stuff. I got a little bit of a peek at some of the stuff that they have going on because I asked for it, and because my daughter is obsessed with Patriot sports, and so she was like, are they going to do the Wake and Rake on Sunday? And they have a great live show. They're going to be partnering with some other shows. So if you are a fan of sports, if you love the Super Bowl, please go follow Patriot Sports Radio. They're on YouTube. Go find them.
Mhm.
They're the greatest guys on the face of the planet. And I'm so grateful that I'm friends with them. And it's just, they have a really great show. You guys should definitely check them out. So I have to like sing their praises real quick. They're
Okay.
also, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
They're also on Twitter. So Eric's name is in his profile. So it's at PSR host guy. And then Chris is at PSR producer. So please go follow them on Twitter and get all of your sports stuff. They're getting ready to start a couple really cool things. They do betting. So like if you want to make some money, go check them out. They got some stuff going on there too. So go ahead and say what you were going to say, Chris.
All right. So my takeaway here was, and Lexi called it out, is Merrick fucking Garland was standing up and clapping with him as an attorney general.
Right.
It's fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Like,
just
is
shows you
that
that-
abnormal? Does anybody know? Like, it felt like, I'm like, I think you're one of those who's not supposed to be clapping.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
you're not,
You might want to be more in the middle. Like,
Yeah.
you're the fucking attorney general.
right. Like the Congress is Republican, Democrat, or
But the
however you
military
caucus
guys,
or whatever.
the generals all stay down.
The
all of
secretary,
those
or,
guys.
SCOTUS
yeah.
people. Yeah.
Yep. So should the attorney general.
Yeah.
I guess he's appointed, so maybe that matters.
Yeah,
But
like we
it
all know
shouldn't.
it's a political position, right? But it still feels like it's
Really not.
it's not
Like, it is not
representative.
supposed to be a political position at all.
No,
yeah,
it's not.
right. You know what I mean? So it's like I know that somebody appoints you, and that's based on politics. But
And that's not.
I mean,
supposed to
and
be
so I'm
the
just
focus.
asking if anybody has ever seen or thought about this before. Maybe like I haven't. You know, maybe in my biases or whatever, I didn't notice this happened with. Oh my God, his name is
I'll be
escaping me.
honest, I've never paid attention to that position, like when they are clapping and stuff. So I don't know the answer to that question, but I most certainly would think that that position should not stand and clap. So I'm going to go through some of these chats real quick. Said we protected our borders from China earlier. Our sovereignty? What? 3 sentences about Ukraine. That's something. Bet they make a move for peace talks in a couple months. I think that you are 100% correct. I think that we're going
I
to
hope so.
Yeah.
God, I hope so. I can't afford this shit.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I gotta go to bed. I gotta work in the morning. But thank
All
you
right.
for inviting me. This was so much fun.
Thanks for hanging out, Eric. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. You guys
See
have
you
a good
later.
night.
Peace.
Good night.
I feel bad. I'm like hiding his face. Okay, Joey. Honestly, I don't know how Biden can stand up there and push abortion and still receive communion 100%. Like, how do you say, I'm a great Catholic, but please kill all your babies?
Ugh.
Does anybody find it weird that he's trying to bring back genocide on a fucking State of the Union address?
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
It's crazy.
I mean, I feel like that's what they want. I mean, I do sometimes. It's just so I should go think of the other thing, like other things he said tonight. I was just like, ooh, that grosses me out so much.
So it was very uncomfortable when he was sitting there with the dad that had lost a daughter to opiates or to fentanyl, knowing that is all coming over the southern border.
Right.
And he's done nothing. And he's had the gall to, and this is when the Republicans started yelling at him, to
Yeah.
stand up there and say, I don't know it verbatim, but he was basically saying, I've been trying to secure the border and you guys are standing in my way. That's what he said in a nutshell.
Yeah.
It was disgusting. You had to, everything that's going on to right now, bro, they have owned all of it. They had the Congress, they had all of it, all three branches. The only thing we could do is run shit up to the Supreme Court.
Yeah. At this point, the Supreme Court is like the only thing running the country. Like we're supposed to have checks and balances between the different branches of government. And it's like the legislative branch doesn't actually pass legislation for the country anymore. They pass massive spending bills. The president doesn't enforce the law. He makes the law with his pen, and then the judiciary like decides, oh, okay, well, maybe this is legal. maybe
Years
this
later, after
Yeah.
they're already swamped with fucking anyways.
Yeah. He glossed over a lot. Yeah, absolutely, Lisa. I agree 100%. Concerning Warnock's constant spotlight next to Joe, there's a decent chance he's running in 2024 or far more likely 2028. You think, like, for president, guys, just for clarification, like, that would be fucking crazy. I could not see Warnock already running for president, but you might be right. Obama 2, drone strike Boogaloo. I've not seen one where a president gets called a liar and got heckled so bad, usually saved for the response. Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Hey, can somebody figure out what they were saying? I know they didn't say whore, but it sounded like whore. I was like,
I think they were saying border.
Border. Okay.
And then I think,
because later on they were saying that.
yeah, and then they were saying like it's your fault.
Yeah, that was Matt Gaetz. He said it's your fault.
Yeah.
And it went silent. I wonder if that was probably uncomfortable for him.
Yeah.
I'm sure he didn't
I
mean
don't
for it
think
to
that
go
he
silent right
intended
there.
for, I think he thought they were going to continue yelling. Yeah.
Yeah. That was awesome. He's gonna get
I
he's gonna get a lot of Fox News time for that. I bet you.
Yeah. He'll get a lot of airtime across the board. The Democrats will run with that too. Look how disrespectful Matt Gaetz is. I agree. Can't think of the last State of the Union where there's that much heckling. I have a number of thoughts on that. Joey, I would love to hear those thoughts.
If they think he
Friday
is,
happy hour.
if they think that he is disrespectful, they should just invite Friday Liberty Happy Hour to sit in on that and see what that looks. See what disrespectful looks like.
Well,
You want to be
honestly,
disrespected? Come on over. We'll take care of
I
that.
know.
for you.
We
I can
call
see a
it
lot
the
of us just
truth.
sitting-
You call it what you want.
I can see a lot of us just sitting back and letting Exit like do what he does.
Oh my God. Exit would annihilate them. I hate that he left without, like, he just did an Irish exit and bounced.
Bye.
If we
peace.
went topic for topic, I would wager 80 to 90% was healthcare related. Yeah, I was really surprised, honestly, that there was that much healthcare talk in this. That's another good point, guys. You know, being in the healthcare industry myself, I can't see that having been like where he's like, we're doing well in this regard. Like that is not the case. That is not what I would have like come in and been like, this is my shining example of my State of the Union.
No.
I definitely
He doesn't
Or-
have a lot to work with, Heather, to be
Yeah,
honest.
that's
or
true.
what people are actually thinking about, right? Like we talked about it. I mean, gas prices was on the bingo card, right?
Yeah.
Chris, how many times do you bring up eggs? Like these are the things that people are talking about and thinking about and worried about.
You mean we're not
And
worried
he's
about our
like,
motel
well, let me
fees
talk about
at a resort?
Medicaid.
The
Huh?
resort that threw me off. We were talking about fucking resorts,
And the airplanes. The airplanes are now going to show you
Oh,
all
yes.
of your costs.
so they're
Because
just
we're
going to say
flying
10%
so
to
much
the
right
big
now.
guy instead of surcharge.
Yeah.
That's what they should do. Just write
Yeah.
10% for the big guy.
Okay, and like full disclosure, like on the record, like airlines, but it's because they are like almost at this point like pseudo government agencies
Yeah,
because
they're,
they're
like,
regulated
federalized
into the
almost, yeah.
fucking ground that you know, they do screw people over all the time, but they can because of also like government regulations. They have like, oh, well, we can't do anything. We're regulated. Sorry about this. So I'm not actually like, I think it's actually crazy that you have to tell them, like, if you don't provide the service that somebody paid for, you have to give them their money back. I think it's strange that we even have to like pass a law for that.
We don't have to do that. That's just
I mean, it's so
those are fucking
weird.
talking points. That's never.
I would just,
We're not going to legislate that.
I wonder if there's been like, I mean, again, because they are so regulated, I assume that came with protections too, because usually that's how this shit works.
Absolutely.
And so, oh, well, we had to cancel a flight. It's not our fault. We had to cancel this
Right.
flight. So now we can give these people like vouchers or whatever, And it's like, well, sometimes it is their fault. Like, obviously, like we all have to recognize that if the weather gets bad, like weather gets fucking bad, right? But when it's like they can't manage their own systems or whatever, they should have to, and like I agree, like a while back, they were supposed to have passed a law. I don't even know if this actually works or if anybody abides by it, but where you can only sit on the tarmac for so long,
Yeah.
like those kinds of things I can understand. But they also actually, I just can't imagine they didn't sign up for regulation, the airline industry, like the railroad industry signed up for it in Atlas Shrugged. You know what I mean? Like y'all
Right.
wanted it, you got it.
Yeah.
I
don't
just
know. It's
can't
complicated.
believe that these guys are so fucking elite that when they try to bring themselves down to talk to the American people, they're like, "Oh, they probably stay at resorts and fly commercial. We should
Yeah.
talk about that."
True.
This
That
is
would
what
be
they're
that would
concerned
be the
about.
worst part of our lives. Like
Yeah.
they can't even get down to the level of where everyday America is at. Like that's where they think we're at. Oh, they
Right.
fly commercial and they stay at like public
Yeah.
resorts.
We're watching TikTok
What the
videos about
fuck?
how the chicken feed was bad.
Right.
Yeah,
You
we're
know?
trying to figure out how to
Yeah.
fucking grow gardens out here because you're killing us.
Oh shoot, Eric's gone, but who are you picking to win the Super Bowl and why is it the Chiefs?
I think everybody around here, maybe except for Coach and myself, has got the Eagles,
Yeah,
and it's all about defense.
Ainsley picked the Eagles, so that's who I'm going with, but it's just
Oh,
because of their
that's why
defense.
Eric. Yeah, now he's got this Eagles chant
Wait,
going.
okay.
That's where he got that shit. Because I was like, why?
So I don't care about any of this stuff, but is that where we're down? Like the Super Bowl is going to be the Eagles and the Chiefs?
Yep.
Yes. It's
All
this
right, so I'll
Sunday.
pick the Chiefs. I'll pick the Chiefs because I live in Dallas.
Yep. I mean, they're probably gonna win.
Same reason the SCOTUS in attendance that's completely stoic. Yep, for sure, Joey.
That motherfucker fucked me on a T-shirt. He couldn't say national security once. I really hate that guy.
Yeah, I know.
I would have got a sick fucking.
Eric
T-shirt.
got your T-shirt, man.
No, I'm talking about not saying national security.
Oh yeah.
In a
I thought you were saying
fucking
that 'cause you
State of
didn't
the
get your shirt.
Union, you son of a bitch.
Attorney General is the top Leo in the country, just like CJCOS
I don't know what any of
for
that
the
means.
military.
Dude, this guy is still walking
Ooh.
around shaking hands and getting pats on the back.
They're doubling down on the drug war using fentanyl as an excuse, which is so stupid. Also, I've started seeing like in my
Thanks,
news
Joey.
feed, I've started seeing a whole bunch of like marijuana is making people sick, and the sick that it's making them is adolescent brain damage, and then what was I can't remember what the other one was. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's crazy. Totally following this Patriot Sports Radio, guys. Yes, they're absolutely spectacular. You should definitely follow them. Sounds like we need less government. Yeah, for sure, Ty. You're not wrong. Big facts. Exit for Congress.
Yep, exit for Congress.
Yep. Exit start
Let's get
shit. but on
owl
the
shirts that
national
say for
stage.
Congress.
Holy shit. Exit in any sort of like political position would be epic. Like that'd be like real-time TV that I'd
honestly-
tune into.
No, you know what he should do though? He should be a lobbyist.
But we
He would argue somebody to exhaustion. Like they would just have to give in because he would never
That's true.
stop.
Maybe we can have him lobby.
I think he can make
American
big
people.
money doing that.
Like actually doing it for the people and not not companies. Avoiding anything that could get slammed in the media was a lot of future stuff, not the actual State of the Union. You're
That's
right,
exactly
Lisa.
right.
Yep, for sure. Imagine having to sit next to Kamala long enough for her perfume to wear off and then smelling the last 5 guys she was with on her commute to the Capitol
Oh.
building.
I couldn't get one cackle out of her either. Boy, I had a couple close ones.
I know she was working real hard on her professional
Yes, she was.
demeanor.
Yeah.
For
Her
that event.
stoicism. Yeah. Just have to stare at Kristen for Communist Party member Cinema's pick-me dress.
Pick me dress. That's fucking hilarious. I'm gonna use that someday.
Regulate me harder, airlines probably.
Right.
Passenger numbers are increasing steadily for the airlines, predicted to be back to pre-2020 numbers by this year, Q3, Q4. You know why we talked so much manufacturing? UAW contract is up this year. He's going to take a victory lap for that.
Oh, thanks, unions. Thanks again.
He's lost. That's why he's still in the chamber shaking people's hands because he doesn't know where to go.
Oh yeah, this guy's like, go this way, Mr. President. Go on.
Exit and I
Oh,
will
yeah.
form a
Reach
congressional
back his hand to
shit-stirrer
grab him.
caucus. That's fucking great. All right. It is empty. Bingo is officially over. There's no more squares to get. So we have at least 2 winners for the evening. If anyone else won but did not happen to let us know in the chat or anything like that, please share your bingo card online. And
Okay, let me tell you something about bingo real fast. Okay,
Okay,
so
go ahead.
I can't see everything right, and like obviously I don't see anybody's personal information or anything like that. It's very like you can give it any name you want or whatever. But we had 31 cards in
That's
play,
awesome.
which is awesome.
Very cool.
And a lot of them had let me see. There were some squares that squad member cries tended to fuck a lot of people up.
Yep.
Oh, that was a tough one. They didn't
Weapons
even
of
show 'em much.
war.
National security.
I'm just looking at look, I'm just saying some of the other, like I can't see everybody's card because it looks like kind of depends on how they've logged in or whatever.
Sure.
But in the cards I can see and the cards I like know about, those were some big squares that were I mean the
Preventing
gun
people from
stuff,
winning.
there was a couple of those that pretty like messed up several people
I'm
up.
really surprised on the gun stuff. I'm super surprised that they didn't.
I'm just saying how they land. Oh yeah. Like
That he
how they
didn't
land
say
on the
more
bingo
about
though,
that.
Heather. That's what's important.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean. Keep going on bingo. I'll shut up until you're done.
no, I was gonna say like weapons of war, ghost guns. Those squares
Yeah.
somehow just managed to block.
Those were
people
long
because
shots
he-
too.
They weren't though. Like
I
he
don't
was
know.
Ghost guns
with-
might have been long shots. Maybe not though.
with how much he's coming hard against guns right now. I feel like not. I feel like he probably should have said a little bit more.
Boy, he just smiled a lot at those. He didn't really get after him when they were yelling at him. He just sat there and smiled at him. I mean, he did for a second there when he went off script, but I was hoping that
He
he'd start
wanted
screaming.
to.
Yeah, boy,
You
he did.
could
He was
see-
smiling.
He
Yeah, yeah.
wanted to.
His
the
ego,
smile on his
he- I-
face.
yeah.
Oh, he wanted it.
I kind of wondered if he literally like if they were literally like, I don't know, like just skip it. They were like,
Yeah.
if they get mad, just skip it. Like they drew a red line. It was like if they get started
Yeah.
get riled, just skip it to the next part because it
Yeah.
felt like he would go from one
It was
topic
disjointed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
to the
for
next
sure.
without any sort of like phasing.
Structure. Yeah.
Yeah, like if you had a speech writer, they would write something that was like more flowy and it just was like, oh, people are arguing with me, and the next thing you know, it felt like he switched topics.
Yep.
So-
Yeah, it was pretty disjointed. So
Hit the
just
like
some of
button
the-
if you haven't yet on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Go
So
ahead to the love.
like, subscribe, do all the things. If you're on
Follow on Twitter. We need like 906 more.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I'm like 900 away from 10,000, which is pretty exciting. Thanks to all my Liberty Happy Hour crew for your grassroots campaign to get me over 10K. So I love you guys.
I think we're gonna start doing it on like at least a bi-weekly basis because I think we did get you like 100 followers in the
You
last,
did.
like,
You did.
week or
You
so.
got me
So I
a
think we just
little
have to,
over
like, keep
100
at it.
actually. And it's it fluctuates enough because people will leave or whatever, but yeah, follow on YouTube. We'll do more of this kind of stuff throughout the year for sure. Like this is kind of my go-to crew to shit on the government and talk about all the stupid shit that they do. And then follow everybody, like everybody that you saw here today. Follow Lexi, follow Chris, follow Exit, even though cannot wait till QP sees his avatar when he gets up tomorrow.
Follow, exit, and QP just so you can see what happens in the timeline tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. So we're going to talk about some of this Friday night. So we do, this is my only like shameless plug. Liberty Happy Hour is a live show that we do on Twitter Spaces every Friday night. We start at 10:15 Eastern. It may not happen this Friday night. I have surgery scheduled at 1:00 on Friday. So depending on how that shakes out, will determine whether or not we actually have. I mean, if they give me good drugs, like I'll be there. It's not a big deal. I might be pretty fucked up, but you know, that's happened before
maybe
too.
maybe
So
it'll be a Saturday reschedule.
maybe. I have to go do a photo shoot on Saturday and I don't know what time yet, but after I get that scheduled for sure. So yeah, I'm going to go through these last few chats. Don't send any more because then I'm not going to get to them and I'll feel bad. So, it says exit. Oh, I already read that one. He's getting stiffer moving around. The Colombian Bam Bam's wearing off.
It did.
Don't forget to subscribe, like Shouse in the House, follow for Friday Liberty Happy Hour. Thank you, Joey. The bingo was rigged. There was no chain of custody for the bingo cards. Mail-in bingo cards should be illegal.
Hey man,
Of course,
talk to the
the only
bingo
way to
card
win
company.
is not to play. Ban assault weapons was in there. How about you sit on it and twist, Joe? Hashtag stolen bingo session. I will for sure join during primary season. Don't fall asleep with it up. Your wife will be mad at you for something someone else said. All right, guys. I love you all. Thank you for hanging with me. Thank you, Lexi, Chris.
Yep.
Thank you, Exit and Eric, who have both already left. It was great having you guys here. And we will do this again soon.
I had fun. Thank you so much, Heather.